train.
Ladies and gentlemen, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, here is the skill, the highly regarded Devin the Dream Haney.
Bud Crawford is a fight fan, and he's a fight fan's fighter. The Ennis Express is a runaway train.
Ain't no pressure when you built for this.
Man down, round one. The truth hurts.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the undefeated super flyweight from San Antonio, Texas, Jesse Bam Rodriguez!
The universally recognized undisputed lightweight champion of the world, Devin the Dream Haney.
You can't fight the power of Gervonta Tank Davis. What a scintillating display. Well, you question Deontay Wilder's power. The proof is in the banana pudding as he just turned the lights out.
Cool boy Steph Stephen Bolton Jr.
The Ennis Express is a runaway train.
Ladies and gentlemen, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, here is the skill, the highly regarded Devin the Dream Haney.
Yes, sir, man. We back for another episode. Man, we rocking tonight, man. It's Sunday night cookout. You know what it is, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let me make sure I got all my goodness going like I normally like to have it. You know what I'm saying? We got a little background music playing. Y'all know what it is, man. First things first, man. Make sure when y'all come in, y'all smash the like button. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the family in the building, man. My brother Josh Sanders in the building, 86, man. Respectfully, you know what it is, bro. You know what it is. Man, my sis, my big sis, man, the queen is in the building. Quick, I got so much love for you, and I appreciate you so much. For anybody who don't know, there have been times I be over here just talking to my motherfucking self, respectfully, of course, to me. And Quee is over here listening. You know what I'm saying? Quee, she's showing love. And man, that's my sister. Man, I got love for you, Queen. Definitely got to get you back on. We're rocking with Right Side. You know what I'm saying? We got to have you on again. And man, I want to have you and Five on together, man. If y'all willing to do that, man. But definitely want to have both of y'all on together, man. So, but man, we got my brother Khan Shinery in the building, man. Shout out to my brother Khan. You know what I'm saying? And let me make sure I'm dropping, showing love to everybody, man. Much love to y'all. Josh Sanders, man. We got to get you on here too, bro. Everybody is so interesting to me. Everybody got something that they bring to the table. And my goal is to bring it out. You know what I'm saying? My goal is to bring it out. Yes, hey, shout out to Facts. I will say the word when, and I'm working on it now. I'm actually working on it now. I'm putting my schedule together. And I think it should be sooner than later that I have both of y'all on, man. And we'd love for that to definitely be a feature, you know what I'm saying? So, fact, absolutely, Josh. T just crushed. Absolutely, man. We need the whole family on here. And, you know, I ain't necessarily I ain't hashtag TWT, but you know I'm TWT just like y'all are, cause I rock with everybody from TWT, man. The winning team, I definitely fuck with y'all, man. And so we definitely gotta have all of y'all on here with love for my brother T, all of them, man. Everybody over there, bro. You know what it is. So definitely. So, man, what we got going tonight, man? First things first. Shout out to the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? I'm being a hater right now. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I'm being a hater right now. You know, the Eagles, they NFC East all day, a rival team of my Cowboys. So I'm definitely being a hater right now. Shout out to the Chiefs, goddammit. Shout out to the Chiefs, goddammit, right now, because hey man, they did their motherfucking thing tonight, and it was a good game though. It was a good game, and man, I was shocked. I didn't think it was gonna be as close as it was, but man, the Eagles, they showed up and showed out tonight. They did show up and show out. I gotta give them credit for that. And man, my Cowboys gotta, man, we gotta get there, man. If we get there, I'm just letting y'all know, if the Cowboys get there in any time soon, y'all ain't gonna be able to tell me shit, and y'all probably gonna, y'all might stop liking me. I'm just gonna tell you, I might be one of the most disrespectful people that y'all know if the Cowboys get there, because we cussing, we slapping folks, and we doing everything in between, man. We doing everything in between, but nah, man. I want to make sure I'm catching the comments out this motherfucker, man. Hold on, let me rock over here. Here we go. Hey, my brother Josh Sanders said, hey, give credit, or gotta give them credit. And Mahomes wasn't even 100% and pulled it out. Facts. He looked good tonight, man. I ain't gonna hold you. He looked good tonight. Shout out to my brother Alden Johnson in the building. AJ in the building, man. Salute the right side. Man, a great Super Bowl game tonight. Facts. It was a great game, bro. It was a great game. So I wasn't mad at it at all. I enjoyed that game, man. I enjoyed it. I don't care about them teams. If it ain't the boys, talk about it, Quee. Talk about it, Quee. If it ain't them boys, fuck them. Fuck them all, man. Respectfully, of course, respectfully. Let's see, man. We got goddamn Alden, man. Best Super Bowl I've seen since Russell Wilson screwed Beast Mode. that was some bullshit, man. Hand the ball off, man. Hand the goddamn ball off. Run the ball in, man. Shout out to my brother Tony Reviews in the building, man. Salute to my brother Tony. Goddamn, Tony. He said, man, fuck the NFL. I'm truly starting to believe these games are scripted. Hold on, Tony. Now, Tony, it seemed like you might have been rooting for the Eagles, respectfully, of course, respectfully. But it seemed like you might have been rooting for the Eagles when you come with. But he said, hey, these games are scripted, and when teams don't follow the refs, or when teams don't follow it, the refs cheat. This shit is fake like the WWE. Man, I don't know about that, Tony. For you to cheat in football, bro, it's a lot of individuals who got to take that L. Maybe we can say the refs possibly, but it's a lot of motherfuckers who got to take that L to really cheat in the NFL, bro. Yeah, I'm just saying that's my opinion. Man, shout out to my brother Reggie Owens in the building. Hey, Reg, I gotta get you as well, bro. I got your number, man. I'm gonna hit you up soon. Gotta get you on the show as well, bro. Definitely gotta get you on. Shout out to my nigga D Free, man. D Free in the building. D Free, man. We need that. We need the cop perspective. Respectfully, of course. Respectfully. We need the cop perspective, man. And shout out to you, man, and everything you doing over there. So I know you a Commanders fan. We don't respect the Commanders around here because they're the Redskins. Nigga. It is what it is. They still the Redskins. I respect the Redskins. I don't respect the Commanders. It is what it is. So, my brother Reggie said Super Bowl was amazing. High level football. Facts. Man, my brother Piro in the building. Salute to my brother Piro, man. Much love to you, Piro. And we're gonna drop the link in a second, man. I got a few things I'm gonna cook on real quick. And man, I ain't gonna hold you. I want to see the family in here though. I definitely want to see the family in here. He said, my brother Josh Sanders, he said it was just some bad calls late, or some bad late calls on the Eagles. In the end, Chiefs had experience that the Eagles didn't have, and it showed up for sure. Hey man, it seemed like Patrick Mahomes ended up being and first thing, man, shout out to the great brother from Alabama. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Hurts, well, he did go to Oklahoma as well, but shout out to the great brother from Alabama because I mean what he had? I think he had 3 rushing touchdowns. I don't know if anybody ever had 3 rushing touchdowns. That might be a record. It probably is a record. I'm pretty sure ain't no individual had 3 rushing touchdowns in the Super Bowl, especially at the quarterback position. So, man, shout out to him for doing this goddamn thing, man. Absolutely, Reggie, man. A hell of an interview with the brother Champion Hart. He showed up and showed out, man. Shout out to him as well. He did his thing the other night, man, and man, I can't complain. I can't complain, man. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat. Anybody who want to jump on, feel free, man. Y'all feel free. We're gonna get to this boxing talk because I got a few points I want to cook on when about this boxing. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the NFL goes, I can't complain about what I saw tonight. I can't complain one way or another. I thought it was a close-ass game, a good-ass game, high-level football, like Reggie said. Man, it was a great game. This is one of the best Super Bowls. And then for the Eagles to be up the way they were up, the Chiefs to pretty much walk them down, and then to kind of win that thing at the end, man. And, man, it was a beautiful game. It was a beautiful game. And, man, it was exciting. It was exciting, man. I have no problems with it. Matter of fact, I'm excited. I was excited about it. Now, I will tell y'all, if for some reason the Eagles would have won tonight, if they would have won, I'd be raising all type of hell right now. I'll be raising all type of hell if the Eagles would have fucked around and won. But hey, man, shout out to the Cowboys. You know what it is. You know, man, shout out to the Queen Lisa Bell in the building, man. Much love to you, Queen. Oh, Lisa came in with the smoke for y'all. She came in with the smoke. How about them Chiefs? It is what it is. It is what it is. They did their thing tonight, Lisa. They did their thing. They showed up and showed out. And, man, shout out to Patrick Mahomes playing on the bummed ankle. You know what I'm saying? There were times in the game he was limping, and he was still making it happen. You know what I'm saying? Still making it happen. So I ain't got no problem with how it happened tonight, man. I have no problem with it. And Patrick Mahomes showed a whole nother level of skill. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, once again, like I said earlier, what Jalen Hurts did on the ground as well as in the air. Jalen Hurts, he did his thing, and man, shout out to him as well. I feel like, and I hate to say it, with him being in our division, I'm a Cowboys fan regardless. But with him being in our division, I gotta say, man, this ain't gonna be Jalen Hurts' first it ain't gonna be his last Super Bowl. I think he's gonna get there multiple times, and I believe Jalen Hurts, he gonna win them one. He gonna win them one. So shout out to Jalen Hurts, man. This was the first 2 brothers. I know there are individuals out here who will tell me that Patrick Mahomes ain't black. No, hell no. He black, bro. And he's definitely black. I'm claiming him. And so shout out to my brother Piro in the building, man. Give me 1 second, Piro. Man, shout out to people want to tell me Patrick Mahomes ain't black. Nah, he definitely black. And for this to be Jalen Hurts versus Patrick Mahomes, it was a hell of a show. It was a hell of a game. And so, Piro, man, what's going on, my brother? Appreciate you jumping up tonight, man. Talk to me. What up? The Super Bowl?
I didn't watch it, bro. I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch the Super Bowl?
Nah, I don't watch anything but boxing since the pandemic hit. Seriously, I'm dead serious, and I was a big sports fan of all the sports. You know, like I'm a Bronco fan, Dodger fan, Kings fan, Laker fan, but I don't watch none of them no more.
Damn, bro, like I ain't mad. I understand where you're coming from. Real quick, man. My brother Reggie Owens said Jalen Hurts played his ass off. This was the greatest quarterback play in history. Facts. I agree with that 100%, Reggie. All that being 2 black quarterbacks is bullshit. These were the best quarterbacks ever battling. Forget black, white, regardless. Man, I agree with that, Reggie. This was a hell of a duel. It was 2 quarterbacks going back and forth, and man, it was magnificent to see, man. It was great to see, man. Pirro, but we got to move to the boxing talk like we normally do. Definitely got to move to that boxing talk, man. Pirro, man, talk to me, man. What'd you think about this weekend as far as the great sport of boxing goes? What'd you think about this weekend? We're starting with the Ray Vargas versus O'Shaquie Foster fight. I know you called it.
Yeah, no, for sure. I thought it was a good fight. Shout out to O'Shaquie. I thought Ray was gonna do his thing, but fuck it. It is what it is. And we got a new champ at 130, bro. I also thought the Cuban versus that other, I don't know if he was French or what it was, man. That was crazy, man.
You talking about Pirro? I mean, not Pirro. Pirro.
No, I mean, a lot of people call him like that, though. To be honest, it's funny.
Pirro versus Fawcett.
For Faust, I think, something like that.
Faust, yeah. Bro, let me ask this, Pirro.
Yeah, man.
Faust, in my opinion, so he's Ukrainian. He's Ukrainian. I thought he looked like the heavyweight version, and not as far as boxing and his skill set go, but just in the face. He looked like the heavyweight version of Lomachenko, in my opinion, bro.
Oh, yeah? I mean, a lot of people think Usyk is like the heavyweight version of Lomachenko, but yeah. I mean, the Ukrainians.
I'm not talking about boxing. I'm not talking about the skills.
Just in the face. Just straight look.
Yeah, just the face. He looked like, in my opinion, he looked just like goddamn Lomachenko. He looked like the heavyweight Lomachenko, bro.
That's his cousin, bro.
It might be.
It might be. You never know, bro.
Talk to me. What'd you think about that fight?
I thought Pirro was getting his ass kicked, to be honest, bro. But then he landed that body shot, bro, and then that's all she wrote.
Facts. Hey, and it was interesting to me because the body shot that he landed, it didn't look like it was just a heavy. We used to seeing the liver shots, those type of shots, but it didn't look like it was just the heaviest shot. But man, I think it possibly broke a rib or something. I don't know, but it was
accumulation, dub, because he landed 80 body punches throughout that fight.
He was going to the body. That's a fact. He was definitely going to the body. So
yes, sir.
I don't know, man. I just didn't think he should be. I didn't think he would be hurt like he was. You know what I'm saying? And then, in my opinion, you know a nigga is hurt when, even after, you know what I'm saying, the body punches landed, damn, next thing you know, what happened? He ran over, even though the ref hadn't called it off. He threw 3 or 4 punches to the head, and I'm like, those punches didn't even affect buddy. It was that body shot that landed. Shout out to my brother, the boxing Scholar in the building. What up, Scholar? How you feeling, bro?
Scholar, what up?
What's up, man? Hey, right side.
Yes, sir. Talk to me.
Bro.
And I know you're going to cook, man. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Nah, I ain't even for the cookie, man. I would just say, bro, I can't have what happened last time, man, with the dude. And that shit was disturbing, bro. I ain't never seen no shit. I've never witnessed a panel where that happened, bro. That's why I ain't been back in a while. I was like, nah, I can't even risk that again. That shit, it took like a week to get that shit out of my brain, man. But I'm back. I just be more cautious, man. But no, I wanted to say
I'm working. I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting it, respectfully, of course.
I just wanted to say this, right side, because I don't know, 7 months back, man. Because I got a pretty decent memory. We was on my live, and we was talking about Arthur. I'm gonna get to the topics you got at hand, but I just wanted to say this because we ain't talked in a while. We were talking about Arthur, and I told you, I said right side, he don't move his head. He said, what? I said right side, he don't move his head. And I know he looked impressive against his Joe Smith win, but how I am, I see the entirety of the picture. I don't just knockouts make everybody forget about everything, right? But I still seen that he didn't move his head, and I said he's 38 years old, 200 or 300 amateur fights. I'm like, that shit takes a toll. And then his style, I said he gonna start to look more human in his next couple fights. Everybody on the panel lost their shit, right? So they thought I was the craziest motherfucker ever. And then he gets caught by Anthony Yard and shit with some good shots, and he got him out of there. But he looked less than spectacular. With that being said, I think Bivol is gonna beat Arthur when and if they do fight. And the longer that the fight takes to happen, the more that it favors Bivol.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. I'm not mad at that at all. I will say this though: the Anthony Yard that we saw against Beterbiev, I think that if we see that Anthony Yard against Bivol, I think that Anthony Yard beats Bivol, bro. That's I believe that. And the thing is, man, I understand, and it's crazy for me to say. It's crazy because I usually favor the boxers, and in this situation, Bivol, he's the boxer. I usually favor the boxers. When you get up to that weight, though, you know what I'm saying, man. I feel like if Bivol, if he runs into the right one, if he runs into the right one, he get clipped. Man, he gonna be in trouble, bro. Like I done seen him knocked down before, and I don't know, bro. Like I feel like with these bigger punchers, it's trouble for him. But the boxing skill, and see, the thing is, even when he fought Canelo, the thing that gave him the advantage in that fight was that he was the heavier fighter. He was used to the weight, and he was able to stay on the back foot and box more. Well, Canelo really wasn't able to get in there and clip him like I think somebody that's in his weight class would be able to do. And so when it comes to, like I said, even Yard, I think Yard, if he fight that same fight that he fought against Beterbiev against Bivol, I think Yard wins that fight. But I could be wrong about that. Now I wouldn't be surprised if I am. Go ahead, Scholar, or Puro, either one of y'all.
Go ahead, Puro. Give me a take on that, bro.
I don't think Bivol's ever been dropped, has he?
He's been hurt by Joe. I've only seen him hurt by Joe Smith. I've never seen him drop.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyways, Yard can hit, Yard can punch. I mean, like ask Kovalev, and ask Beterbiev, because Scholar was spot on. It's the defense that sets Bivol apart. In any fight, you know what I'm saying, especially with Arthur Beterbiev. I mean, like you got to be able to hit him to be able to knock him out. I mean, I don't see Yard beating Bivol, to be honest. That's just me.
I definitely don't see Yard beating Bivol. I think Bivol is like the more that Bivol goes on and to be successful, the more it's gonna make the Canelo haters look like Canelo haters. Because I mean, even though I feel like Canelo did better against Bivol than Zerto did, and Zerto's a big fucking dude, bro. Like I just seen a clip on Ellie Setback's channel where he was sparring with Gerald Washington, a heavyweight, bro. Like he's a big ass dude, and I wasn't a Bivol believer at first. I thought Beterbiev was gonna walk through him, but I said, okay, this is how I judge fighters, right? I never really pay attention to names. I pay attention to the character, right? And I said, okay, Bivol's a European fighter. European fighters don't normally know how to pivot. And I said, okay, he's fighting a southpaw who's basically was close to being a cruiserweight on the night of the fight. And I said, if he could show me something in this fight and make Zerto put his hands in his pocket, he's gonna make a believer out of me, because this is supposed to be a bad stylistical matchup. And he went in there and impressed me. I was like, shit. So everything I base on the Arthur fight, I base it off of what he was able to do against Zerto. Like he was able to push that big ass body back and not get fatigued. He was so far in control. He was able to take rounds off and just, you know what I mean, just put it on cruise control and still beat the shit out of Zerto. So with that being said, I don't think Arthur's gonna be able to push him back. But I'm gonna give you, since I'm with my boy Pure and Right Side, I'm gonna give y'all an exclusive, man. One of the videos I'll fit a drop, maybe a week from now, is Arthur Beterbiev has a trick. And his trick is he lands the punch to the back of the neck. That's his trick. If you go look at most of his knockouts, he always either gets him out of there with that punch or he hurts him with that punch. And he's very accurate. He's very accurate. He makes it look like a legal shot. He dips his head to the left and he shoots that shot, and he always catches him right on the back of the neck, like it's purposeful. It looks like it may be an accident, or maybe they might have moved their head, but no, he's very accurate with that shot. If you go look, that's the shot that he arcs the right hand and he puts it right on the back of their neck, and he catches them with it every time. If you go look when he hurt Yard, the same shot. And before that fight even happened, I was telling people he was going to hit Yard with that shot because he does the shoulder roll and he puts his head over to the right. So I knew Arthur was going to just be a marksman and hit him right on the back of the neck in a vulnerable area. But that's his trick. That's his trick. That's how he shakes people up. And I'm like, can he land that shot against Bivol? I don't think he could. I think Bivol is very fast and he has very underrated power. And he's pivoting. European fighters don't pivot. When he pivoted his last fight, he fucking impressed the shit out of me. That means he's still learning on the job. So with all those things being said, I'm gonna put my money on Bivol.
Scholar, I hope you're wrong, because like literally, that's he's trying to kill these motherfuckers, man. Like I hope you're wrong that he's doing it intentionally, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop a video.
No, I believe you. I believe you. I'm just saying, bro. That's like I don't like that. You know, like literally, that's like kills fucking fighters, bro.
Yeah, it's easy. It's easy for that to go unknown, because I noticed it right before I did my breakdown with Yard versus him. I was like, wait a minute, this is happening too much to be a fucking accident. I can't believe ain't nobody picked up on this. And I looked and I was like, he's gonna do it to Yard, and sure enough, he beat Yard with that same shot. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like you said, it's life threatening because that's a very vulnerable area. But it's, and it's not even a coincidence that most of the people that he fights after he knocks them out, they retire and they're never the same. It's because he hits them in that vulnerable area. But like, yeah, now that I said that, when you go back and look at his highlights, pay attention to that. I'm gonna drop a video on it, but if you watch it before then, just pay attention to that little thing.
I'm gonna watch it.
It's an interesting point to me because I've seen that happen. Like, and when you see it, it's almost, you think, a bad place punch. But if you what you're saying is it's a consistent thing that he's been doing. Make sure I'm correct on that, Scholar. Are you saying it's a consistent thing that he's been doing?
It's purposeful. It happens too frequent. So if you fight somebody like James Toney, right? James Toney gives you half of his body. So a lot of times he would get hit in the back of the head, but it wasn't no fault of the fighters because he's giving you half of his body and he's turning his body in a position to where you could land a shot back there. Agreed. But with Arthur, that is a purposeful shot. He like chops his right hand. He don't shoot it straight. He chops it and he leans his body and he aims purposely for the back of the neck so he can, because he knows he's a big guy. He's a big, powerful guy, and that's a very vulnerable area. It's like another fighter I've seen that do that, but this is a legal shot. Ruiz with the temple shots. If you go back and look at Ruiz fights, he hits a lot of people in the temple and shakes them up, but that's a legal shot. But Arthur does the same thing, but he just does it illegally.
Yeah, Fury does it too. Fury goes for the year as well. Yeah.
Okay, and I'm gonna go back. I'm definitely, and I'm interested to see your video as well, because I'm definitely gonna go back and look for it, because I ain't seen it. I really haven't seen it yet, but we'll definitely.
I don't do breakdowns, but yeah, man, that's a good catch.
But yeah, I looked when I was looking, like, okay, if they assuming that boxing is unpredictable, but assuming that they fight this year, right? Him versus Beterbiev versus Bivol. I'm like, will Bivol put his head in a position where he'll give him that shot? And I went back and looked, and I'm like, he never gave Canelo that shot. Canelo was faster than him. And I looked at Zerto. Zerto's bigger than Arthur, and he never got that. He never had his head in that vulnerable position. So I'm like, okay, well, it's a chance he won't get clipped with that shot. And that's his best shot to shake him up, to try to get him out of there. So I'm like, it's going to be a very interesting fight. But I just think that Bivol his speed will come through. I think speed it kills in every sport: football, basketball, baseball, whatever. That's why Deion Sanders was able to do multiple sports. That speed kills. And I think Bivol is really, really fast. I think part of the reason why Canelo had a tough time with him is because Canelo's normally the faster guy, and he's a very hard puncher. And the little guys moving up, one of their advantages is the speed. But when he got in there with Bivol had as much speed as him, if not equal to him, and that's why he had so much of a big advantage against Canelo.
Okay, so let me ask this then. So in first things first. And this is the problem, because we can break these fights down. My first question got to be is do you think that fight happens? You know what I'm saying? When we're talking about Bivol and Beterbiev, whatever the brother name is, respectfully to him, But when we can break it down, but does that fight happen this year? Especially when we see the quote unquote size of the street, all that nonsense going on. Do y'all think that fight happens? Puro, first Going to Piro first, then come to you, Scholar.
It's definitely not happening this year. Bob's already said it. Bivol already's got Buatsi on deck. Yeah, I think it happens next year for Undisputed. Yeah, I think it happens next year for Undisputed.
Scholar, what you think on that?
I mean, I can see that fight happening after Bivol takes care of business against that guy. Like Arthur's already fought once this year. Most championship fighters average like 2 fights a year, so it's possible that they could meet up after the very next. I mean, Arthur better hurry up. Like that's all I gotta say about that shit. Like I said, the longer that the fight takes to happen, the more it favors Bivol. So if he know what I know, he better go for Undisputed immediately and hurry up. You know what's funny? They asked him in an interview I seen, would he fight Usyk? And I thought he was gonna say, like, yeah, because they got the amateur history, and he was like, nah, Usyk too big. Usyk moved up to heavyweight. If he come to cruiserweight, I'll entertain it, but nah, he's too big.
My problem is though. My problem is real quick, and Bivol, even though I believe I'm not sure how old Bivol is. I think he's somewhere in his early 30s, I believe. Whereas Beterbiev, this man is in, what is he, 38, 39, damn near 40. At some point in time, bro, like Father Time, he's undefeated. And so, like you said, this shit need to happen sooner than later if it's going to be a competitive fight, because at some point in time, man, Beterbiev, he's not going to be at the top of the game that like he is right now. And with Bivol being the younger fighter, the longer fighter, in my opinion, the better boxer, hey, you better get your ass in the ring now and try to become undisputed. I don't think he has another year. I don't think he has another year.
I agree. I think he should fast track because, like I said, those amateur fights, his fighting style as a pro, is just he's not a Bernard Hopkins 38. He's a more of a Joe Frazier 38, and he better hurry the fuck up and make this fight happen before it just be a whitewash. You know what I mean? And we'll be talking about what would have happened if they met up in 2 or 3 years earlier, like they did with Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather. But I could see that fight realistically happen. I don't listen to anything Bob said because Bob always contradicts. I don't listen to any promoters. Bob and Dana White are the same to me. They both just talk. They say the first thing that come to their head. Dana White, remember he said women will never be in the UFC. They got a whole division where they got superstar women fight. Like I never listen to promoters. They in the business of promoting themselves. Normally that's how that works. They even promote themselves over fighters. 1 minute the fighter's the star, the next Muhammad Ali. Then the next minute they can't sell. They having trouble selling. You just can't listen to promoters. But yeah. With all things being fair in boxing, I think that the fighters want this fight to happen, and I think that they will make it happen. I think they'll push their promoters because they want Undisputed. I definitely know Arthur wants it, and I think Bivol wants it too, so I could see this fight happening.
I mean, I think they both wanted to, Scholar, but unfortunately, Bob seldomly lies, bro. So I think he's doing what's someone call it, George Washington Duke to him. You gonna fight? Who I tell you? How I tell you, and when I tell you. None of these bums think straight.
Hey man, go ahead, Sal.
Not to say that Bob lies, but business changes constantly. You know what I mean? Like I can remember a time where Dana White was like, "Shit, Conor McGregor is not fighting Mayweather." I remember thinking like that fight is definitely not happening. When it first was announced, I'm like, no way the UFC does business with Floyd Mayweather. And lo and behold, after he said that, they got together, sat down, the business changed, and the fight happened. So maybe that the business might change for that fight. I think only hardcore fans really want to see that fight. So I don't think it's a really, really big money fight. But at the same time, it's for Undisputed. You know what I mean? And those guys' egos rest on the fact that they're not the man of their division. When they're getting ranked in the pound for pound, is always an asterisk, Bob, because some people say Bivol's the man of that division. Some people say Arthur's the man. It's not a clear-cut person at that division. So I could see it happening.
Shout out to real quick, man. Shout out to my brother G5 in the building, man. Much love to you, 5. You know what it is with us, man. Appreciate you coming through tonight, man. Go ahead, Piro.
Yeah, I think it definitely happens. It's just it ain't happening this year, man. I mean, like, it's Eddie's already
Right.
said, it ain't happening this year. Bob's already said it's not happening this year, and Mauricio Suleiman said that, like, like these are the fights that are going to happen.
Man, my thing is if it don't happen this year, I just don't. I don't see how even. I don't see how the great and shout out to Baturbia, but the longer that fight is prolonged, you know what I'm saying? It's going against him, bro. Because somebody like Bivol with the boxing skills that he has, man, I just it's not in Baturbia favor for this shit to drag along, and I would feel like, hey, I got to go get these fights. I got to go make these fights happen. And with him being over at Top Rank, and maybe it's Eddie Hearn. Maybe it's Eddie Hearn. I don't know. But we've seen Bob be able to make a lot of shit happen. In this situation, Bob need to go over and make that fight happen for Bivol because, for Baturbia, because in the next year and a half, bro, like when you start to get around the age of 40, a lot of your skill sets start to diminish. And so that's just looking at the overall sport. But who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen? But at the same time, man, I would rather see that fight happen sooner than later. And if it doesn't happen this year, hopefully we can get that undisputed fight next year. But man, I gotta ask y'all, man. First, we just saw, and I know we don't all. I probably don't argue with y'all about it as well, but we just seen how it seemed like Ryan Garcia versus Tank Davis. It seemed like that fight was being held up because of a quote unquote rematch clause that Tank wanted, and now it's come out that Tank said, "Fuck it, they didn't send the contract back over there and said fuck the rematch." You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tank for doing that and his team. And now Oscar has come out and said, well, even though that's been agreed upon, there's still other things. What do y'all think about that? Does that fight happen? Do y'all think Oscar's holding it? I think Oscar's holding it up. What do y'all think about that, man? Damn, at some point in time with Ryan being, and I'm not big on the A side, B side. I'm not a fan of none of that shit because at the end of the day, I want to see the fight. You know what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, this is something holding up the fight. So, man, what are y'all thoughts on Tank supposedly sending the contract back? Do y'all believe that actually is what happened? Do y'all think PBC, Showtime is capping about talking about that or about doing that? Man, what are y'all thoughts on that as far as that fight goes? Puro or Scholar, either one of y'all. I'm gonna go to Scholar first. We'll go to Puro first, and Scholar say Puro. But Puro, do you think Oscar? Go ahead, Puro.
No. Ask the question again, please.
Do you think Oscar is holding the fight up?
I mean, he's held up the fight in the past before. I don't know what this whole thing is. I mean, like give me a second. My phone turned off. Okay. Yeah. I don't know what his ploy is or what he hopes to accomplish here. I mean, like Coach Calvin and I forget his other coach. Like, is already like gave Ryan his props. Tell him Ryan's not ducking. I don't know if you saw that interview. Blah blah blah. Like when they said that they apparently resolve that what's it called, the rematch clause issue, which shouldn't have been an issue in the first place. Like, ain't nothing guaranteed in boxing. There's nothing guaranteed that Ryan's going to win the fight where Ryan might lose the fight and they won't even have. You get what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like literally, like, okay, yeah, you guys are the A side if I lose. So at the end of the day, like literally everybody's reporting it, like USA Today, Yahoo. Usually when it's like more than just Cappinger saying that a fight's gonna happen, the fight's gonna happen. So I think it's maybe just promotion.
I think that is some validity to what they're saying, but I can't. it's hard for me to say Oscar's holding up a fight because Oscar is the face of Golden Boy, but they have a team. They have lawyers that that negotiate. Like it ain't Oscar in there like putting shit in the contract or taking shit out or omitting the shit. So I could never give Oscar the sole responsibility for a fight not happening. But what this shows me is if there's some validity to the story that Tank and his people are worried about Ryan because they wasn't worried about Rolly. Everybody knew that the writing was on the wall with Rolly. Shit, Rolly is getting knocked out by a sparring partner. So, I mean, go figure. If Rolly was exactly who the fuck we thought he was. But they're worried about Ryan. That's why they put that rematch clause in there, just in case. It's normally a good business move to do that anyway, just in case your fighter loses. But I doubt that they was really stressing a rematch clause if Rolly would have said, take it out or whatever.
Hold on, wait a minute, now, and that's an interesting. So, in your opinion, Scholar, you think that not necessarily Tank, but his team, whoever over there, they got a little fear in their heart about Ryan. They think it's a dangerous fight. That's what you're saying. Respect,
yep.
Of course.
Yeah, I think that's what they see. They don't think this is going to be a pushover. Well, like I've been telling people that it's not. And I think Tank even said it. I mean, I seen Tank in an interview said he was laughing because he predicted the second round knockout. He was like, Rolly did the same thing in the interview and started laughing. And he was like basically saying this is going to be a really tough fight. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, anybody who knows, 10% about boxing knows that this is not going to be an easy fight. Look at all the experts, the Teddy Atlases, the what's his name, Paulie Malignaggi's. All of those people are like saying Ryan has a good chance to win. It's not a coincidence because if you just look at the film, man, he's a big, long guy, really fast, and those two things are dangerous to a guy who sits and waits for one shot. Because while you're waiting, the other guy's not going to wait for you. He's going to start leading with punches. And if he gets into a rhythm and a groove and he already has the reach, Tank has to work his way inside. He could keep Tank out. But see, he has to be focused for all 36 minutes of the fight. He can't lose focus for 1 second. That's the only reason I don't give Ryan the fight hands down and go put money on Ryan because I don't know if he can maintain his focus for that long. But I mean, like I said, he's aware of the shot he was dropped with, the Luke Campbell shot. He even said in the interview that everybody's trying to land the Luke Campbell shot now. So those two things being said, this is going to be a pretty interesting fight. And if I'm giving percentage wise, I think it's a 50-50 fight.
Damn, Piro, and I ain't mad at that, Scholar, because I ain't gonna hold you. I think this is closer. I think this fight will be closer than a lot of people give Ryan credit for. I think, and even going off of the last fight I saw with Ryan when he fought Javier Fortuna, shit, I seen multiple improvements and things that I've been very critical of Ryan. You know what I'm saying? As far as keeping his chin in the air, the lack of using the jab, standing flat-footed, those type of things. I saw improvements from him in that fight against Javier Fortuna. And so I'm very interested to see how this fight plays out. I don't think this is a cakewalk for Tank at any aspect of it. My brother Piro, man, how do you see that fight playing out, bro? Who you got in that fight?
To hold that thought, Dub Right Side, I gotta put my daughter down real quick, but I'll come and break it down in a minute.
Take your time, man.
Take
I know how fatherhood is, bro. Shout out to my brother for the fatherhood that he's putting in and the work he putting in. Hey, I do the same thing over here. My son knocked out right now, respectfully, of course. So shout out to my brother Rick Timms, man. Oh, damn, Rick, you ain't rinsed up. What the hell going on? We gotta get you straight, bro. We definitely gotta get you straight. Hey, they got something called Scholar. They got something called managing. Hold on, let me make sure I say this shit right. What is it? Managing moderator. I'm like, God damn, I'm gonna just keep everybody standard right now. But Scholar, man, let me ask this. When we breaking this fight down, right? When we looking at it, do you think, you know what I'm saying? And I heard what you just said. Can Ryan go out there and stop a Tank Davis? Do you think he can stop Tank?
I think it'll be very difficult to stop Tank because I've seen Tank hurt before. And I seen him drop before, even though they didn't count it as a knockdown. Like by boxing rules, that was a fucking knockdown. But no, I don't think he can stop him. I think he can hurt him. I think he can hurt him to the body with the left hook. I think the left hook is going to be the key for Ryan to win the fight. But I can even see him knocking Tank down, but I don't know if he can finish him. That's going to be very hard to do because if Tank get hurt and he goes into survival mode, like when he hurt his hand against Isaac Cruz, he becomes a smaller target because he's not opening up for offense. So he'll be on a defensive retreat, to be backing up, and it'll be hard to land a clean shot on him. You know what I mean? And then Ryan will be vulnerable. Hunting. So I don't think he could finish him, but I think he can drop him with a left hook to the body. I think that's the key for Ryan to win. And if he gets him hurt, not to go all out. He should still take his time, use his jab, and press intelligently, not to just come in there, you know what I mean, like how Rolly did. You see what happened when Rolly came in there reckless.
I ain't mad at you. And it's interesting because, once again, like you said, and I will say, matter of fact, let me ask this before I say it. Let me ask this. If Rolly, in your opinion, if Rolly and Ryan Garcia fought, right? And it triangle theory, I understand triangle theory. I know it's hard to speak on, or we can't necessarily allow triangle theory to dictate how we pick fights, right? But I'm just wondering, do you think Rolly would have a chance against somebody like Ryan Garcia? I don't think he would. I think Ryan Garcia would beat the shit out of Rolly. That's my opinion. But do you think he would have a chance?
I think Rolly is exactly who I thought Rolly was before the fight. And I can remember I was telling Mark, I said, watch this, Mark. Because I remember the fight got postponed. I was like, Rolly's physique is looking nice. And then he's releasing all these clips. I said the further the fight keeps getting postponed, the more people are going to start to give Rolly a chance. And I watched a content creator, what's his name, Showbiz the Adult. He made a video talk about George Foreman versus Frazier. I don't even know how that related to that fight, but and then I've heard people running with that narrative. Yeah, you're right. George Foreman versus Frazier, that he could do him like that. And then it just, the closer to the fight, the more people start believing in Rolly. And then Rolly ended up getting his ass knocked out. But Rolly in the Tank fight, Tank was never uncomfortable because he knew that Rolly would give him an opportunity to land that shot, because Rolly's just not a smart fighter. Like he has some talent. I will give him that. He's not completely a bum, but he always makes mistakes during the fight, and he always gets over aggressive, and he just starts winging punch. Like when he got knocked out, he was like lunging with that shot, and I just think that if he fought Ryan, I think Ryan would tear him up. He's too fast. Like Rolly will give him too many openings to land that speed, and Rolly's so aggressive with his offense. I mean, Ryan would just eat Rolly up. But I don't even think Rolly's a good fighter. Like I said, like Rolly's getting dropped by sparring partners, man. Like I don't even think he's over the Tank knockout. I think if you go back and look at that fight, he was out of it all the way up into the dressing room. Rolly still looked like he was out of it. He was still wobbling. He was like Tank knocked the soul out that boy. He took like 3 years off his career, man. And I think he's still punchy. I think he's still punchy. Like when I seen him get knocked out in the sparring club, I said he's not over it. He went back to fight too early. He needed to take a break from boxing, let his brain, you know what I mean, relax a little bit, and you know what I mean, eat the right foods and stay hydrated, because that Rolly is not it. He'd get knocked out by anybody in 140, like not even in the top 10.
But now that we say that, and hey, Scala, you know, we agree on this one. We agree on the most shit we really agree on. But in this situation, bro, I gotta ask this question. We saw Rolly get his ass knocked out by Tank, right? How did Rolly go from getting knocked out by Tank to a championship fight against Albert Puello? You know what I'm saying? At the 140 division. And I believe that fight was supposed to be for Gary Antoine Russell. And his team said, from what I've heard so far, his team said he wasn't ready for that fight. And so Rolly gets the fight after being knocked out. How do you go from being knocked out in a lower division, moving up a weight class, and then going straight for a championship? How does that happen? Break that down for me, Scholar. Make it make sense, brother. Make it make sense for me.
We live in it. See, I think the best thing that ever happened to boxing is also the worst thing at the same time, right? Like when boxing moved to YouTube, it lives on YouTube now. That was able to preserve it, right? Because we can congregate like we doing now, talk about boxing, get excited about boxing again. So that's the good thing about it. The bad thing about it is everybody got a motherfucking opinion, right? So these fighters fall in love with the names. Right? They don't even love the sport of boxing. They'll pick one fighter and just that fighter can do no wrong. He can come out with allegations tomorrow, be on video, and they'll still give them the benefit of the doubt. That's how much they love these fighters. And I think that's what's wrong with the sport. The days of yesteryear, like if you go back and watch clips of people talking about Muhammad Ali while he was still boxing, they would question everything he did. Can he take a shot? Yeah, we know he's good. Can he? Like they kept putting hurdles and hurdles and hurdles until he kept proving himself. That's the difference between the days of yesteryear and the days today. Today they make you great before you do anything. The days of yesteryear they would question everything you did. Oh yeah, he beat Archie Moore, but Archie Moore was older. Can he do it against Sonny Liston? You get what I'm saying? Like they kept putting hurdles. You had to prove yourself to be great. Nowadays, you can literally be famous for being famous. You can get famous off a loss. Isaac Cruz, another one, famous off a loss. Rolly, famous off a loss. Rolly went out there and literally said he won every single round. How the fuck you went around you get knocked out in? And nobody said nothing. Nobody questioned it or anything. And I just think that we just live in a weird time, man. It's just really weird. Like they're making these fighters great. I remember at one time they was saying Boots would beat Roy Jones Jr. And I was like, based off of what? What have you seen to make you make this comparison? But it's just, like I said, the best thing that ever happened to boxing is also the worst thing.
Man,
you're just a hater, Scholar, bro. Boots is like greater than Sugar Ray Leonard, bro. Come on, Sugar Ray Robinson put together, bro. Stop hating, bro. That's fine.
That's what they say. That's what they say when you criticize. When you say stuff like if you were to tell somebody like, bro, Boots is not the goods, the moment you criticize them, they would say you're a hater. See, and that's another thing that's the difference. If you go back and look at the sports writers of yesteryear and what they said about these great champions that we now hold in high regards, they were criticizing the shit out of them. But that's what made them great. When people picked against Ali to beat Foreman, that's why the fight was so great and exciting when he knocked him out. That's why the adrenaline was pumping, because nobody believed you have a chance. But nowadays you just get labeled as a hater. Oh, he a hater. Let's ignore him. They give you like the silent treatment. Like everybody on YouTube, ignore him. Like cover your ears. We're gonna hold hands and sing Kumbaya by ourselves and praise our favorite fighter.
Mm-hmm. I think you're a casual and this that, and the other. I was like, how can you not see what like Puro? How can you not see what? Just like I don't know, bro. I guess I must be crazy.
Man, it was something you said the other day, Puro, and somebody commented, and I was just like, what the fuck? I think it was me when I was on your panel, and I was like, I watched Benavidez, but I never really watched him close, like a close eye on him. I just, seen a couple fights in there. Why in the fuck do people even mention him in the same breath as Canelo? It's like, do y'all understand what y'all are looking at?
No, they don't.
Like, and then they say Canelo's ducking him, but his undisciplined ass is the one that lost his belt twice. That's no fault of Canelo's.
Nope. And to this day, like literally, the biggest thing is like they're scared he's ducking them. Like he says he won't fight Mexicans, which they took out of context. Like literally, he after the Triple G fight got annoyed and literally broke it down to you and says like, I don't like to fight Mexicans, but I fight anybody. Like, but they ignore that part.
Man, I was talking with my boy X about that on another channel, and was talking about that, and I was trying to explain to him what he meant, and then I was just saying like, regardless of what he said, I mean, because I'm disappointed when Keyshawn say he won't fight Shakur. They in the same way. They're not brothers. It's the same thing. Like the only time I would ever give that a pass is if it's Vitaly and Vladimir. I get it. You know what I mean? Y'all are brothers.
Yeah, I get it. Charlo and Charlo.
I get that.
I get that a pass.
Yeah, but outside of brothers, I mean, shit. I want to see y'all fight. Like shit. That mindset is why we never got Joe Frazier versus Ken Norton, which would have been a fucking amazing fight in my opinion.
They were
Like
friends?
they training mates. They were training mates, and then they were good friends, so they never ended up fighting each other. They both had Eddie Futch as their trainer, but that would have been a great fight to see him versus Joe Frazier. But like, I'm not for that shit at all. I want to see fighters fight, especially if it's outside of your brother.
Yeah.
You should fight. And
Fight
but
that
like,
motherfucker,
it's Canelo didn't say anything different than what Keyshawn said about Shakur. That was my whole point. Like when I hear Keyshawn said about Shakur, I'm like, they in the same weight class. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And Scholar, like Chocolatito and Gallo Estrada, bro, like literally they were like best men at their weddings, bro. They still fought 3 times.
Three
Bro,
times.
y'all can fight. Like these motherfuckers go on vacation together and shit. They're like really good friends. I'm like, they get in there and they try to beat the shit out of each other. I'm down with it.
It's so interesting though. But like you just said, Piro, I believe we heard EJ or not even EJ. Forget EJ. Mike Tyson, and y'all know I got a love for Mike Tyson. Me and Mike, we got the same birthday, so I got a love for Mike Tyson. Mike was like, bro, hey, at the end of the day, nah, nigga, let's fight each other so we can make money together.
If you're my friend, help me make money. Why? How you my friend and you won't give me a big payday?
Facts. And so when you start to get into these individuals, and hence the reason, y'all know I'm biased. Y'all know I'm very biased with Devin, and hence the reason I like Devin though is because, hey, Devin, he like, hey, I fought with Shakur. I fought with Shakur, but at the same time, hey, we gonna fight. We gonna fight. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't no, we friends. And that's the other thing when it comes down to Keyshawn. I'm watching Keyshawn right now defend Shakur, and I'm like, bro, Shakur is in your weight class, bro. Why are you defending him?
Yeah, why you defending your opposition? Like, if you say you don't want to fight him, you ain't got to defend him, man. Y'all like not related. Y'all didn't even know each other some years back. It was a time we y'all didn't even know each other. Like get the fuck over it, man. What the hell are you doing? But hold on, right side. I want to address this, man.
Go ahead.
Is this a Devin Haney free zone, man? Will I not be criticized for criticizing Devin Haney?
Cook, man, brother. You can cook Devin all day over here. I rock with Devin, but I keep it a bill regardless. Not Bill Haney.
Hey, no, that's what I was gonna get on, man. I was gonna get on Bill, not Devin.
Get on him, brother. Get on him.
Nah, I'm so Bill. I just seen an interview where Bill was talking.
Before you say it, let me say this. I respect realness. You feel me? And one thing about Bill, I done been on the panels with Bill. I done talked to him before. The nigga be capping, bro. He be talking all type of crazy shit, and it's like, bro, even though, and it's hard for me being a Devin fan, I can't get up here and defend the shit that you talking about. I can't defend that shit because it's nonsense. So cook his ass, bro, respectfully. Go ahead.
And that's what I was gonna get at, man. So I seen an interview where he was talking about B-Hop, you know what I mean? And then I seen another where he was talking about Max Kellerman, and he was saying basically Max Kellerman didn't know shit about boxing. I was like, Bill, are you fucking Max Kellerman? Max Kellerman done forgot more fucking boxing than you know, bro. Like, what the fuck? Like, your only fighter is your son, and that probably will be your only fighter your entire career. And when he retires, you probably won't have anybody because you're doing trial and error with your son. You're learning on the job.
That ain't true. That's not true now. They you know, DHP Promotions do have fighters over there, respectfully.
He gonna have fighters. They have fighters because Devin Haney is still fighting and Devin Haney is still the man. It's hard to maintain that after the fighter leaves. How many fighters have we seen started their own promotional company and then when they retire, that shit go to shit?
Most of them.
Or when they no longer hot. When they no longer hot, like they can't draw like that. Like a lot of fighters then started record companies. That was a big thing in the 90s. The fighters would attach themselves to rappers, start the record companies, and the record companies would be hot for a little bit. But when the fighter was no longer hot, neither was the record company. So I'm just saying that to say this. Bill Haney is learning on the job, right? He don't know everything there is to know. So, you know, he gets around good minds, the Floyd Mayweathers, et cetera, but he's still learning on the job. And I get what he's doing. He's trying to make himself the villain so his son doesn't be the villain. But I think he's doing too much. I think he's he just randomly like you said, talking shit. He's doing what Chael Sonnen does, where Chael Sonnen was talking shit about the ring girls. Like, what the fuck you talking about the ring girls for? What they do to you? I think Bill is getting to that point, man, and I think it's starting to take from Dev. Like, it's becoming more about the father than the fighter, and I kind of have a problem with that. But with that being said, I feel like Dev is the most disrespected champion in the sport of boxing currently at the moment.
Facts.
When I hear people talk, they'll say stuff like this, right? They'll say, "Well, Dev only beat one person," and I always tell them, "Well, shit, so did Buster Douglas, but it was enough to be remembered in history. His name gonna ring bells forever for beating Mike Tyson." And then when they say that, even when they say that, if you go look at Dev's box rec, right? The reason why Dev became undisputed is because he had the WBC belt. So he didn't just beat one person. He already had a belt before he fought for all those belts. That's why he was undisputed and T.O. wasn't. So that's a narrative that they spin that's false.
And so he was gifted that belt, that's what people,
Regardless, he's still undisputed.
Hold on.
That's why as soon as he became undisputed, like I didn't say shit.
Oh, you said something.
But hold on.
Go ahead, Scholar.
We can go back to that, but I just wanted to say this. If you go look at Dev's box record, just take that belt out of it. He beat all the people to get in positioning for the number one spot for all of those belts. Like Kambosos didn't say, "I'm gonna fight Devin Haney." No, Devin Haney got in position by beating the fighters that he was supposed to beat by the sanctioning bodies to be in position to fight that fight. Because when Kambosos became champion, Tank wanted to fight him. But Tank didn't get that.
Hold on. Say that again.
When Kambosos became champion, Tank wanted to fight him. But Tank wasn't awarded that fight because he didn't win the fights that was necessary to be in that position to get that fight. Kambosos only wanted the Loma fight because he felt like it was a big money fight, and he felt like he had a good chance of beating Loma. I don't know why, but that's what he felt.
To win that fight.
He didn't.
Yes, he wanted that fight for a reason. But back to what I was saying. So he beat all the people that he was supposed to beat to get in position to get those belts, whether he was awarded the WBC belt or not. Then he became undisputed by beating the guy. And to be all the way honest, he beat the guy so bad that nobody wanted to see the rematch. Like when Anthony Joshua lost to Ruiz, he fought him the second time and beat him. When Devin Haney fought Kambosos the second time, he almost knocked him out. Everybody says Devin Haney is pillow fisted. So like I said, man, I feel like Dev is the most disrespected champion in the sport. Like, belts don't matter when Dev got him. But before he had him, Tank was trying to get that fucking fight and get those belts. But now that Dev have him, he don't be calling Dev's name. He ignored Dev. Like the shit didn't even happen. Like I said, man, I think Devin Haney is really talented. And I think he's the most underrated champion in the sport.
I mean, Devin is pillow fisted, to be honest.
Would you take a punch from him?
Yeah. For money, I would.
Hold on. Let me.
And he would probably knock me out, but I'm not a boxer, am I?
I gotta ask this question. Piero. So
yes,
if Devin, if he's pillow fisted, how come nobody ain't ever walked him down then? If you pillow fisted, you supposed to get walked down and beat the fuck up. Why nobody don't walk him down and beat the fuck out of him?
You're not supposed to. You're not supposed to.
That's what happened to pillow fisted fighters.
Not all the time. But I mean, I was trolling. I obviously he doesn't like fucking have this fucking insane power. Like, I mean, I wouldn't consider him a power puncher, but yeah, I mean, I actually he hits harder than people think.
Yeah, he's not no Paulie.
Hold on. Hey, real quick.
He gives you
real quick, man. Shout out to my brother, man. My brother Knockout Boxing 86 TV in the building. The biggest Tank fan that I know. You feel me? He said, man, when was Tank trying to fight Kambosos? I missed that part of boxing. Someone please catch me up. Come on, man. You know what it is. We all heard Tank Davis say, I'll fight Kambosos without the belts. I don't want the belt, but I'll fight Kambosos. We all heard him say that. So it is what it is. But hey, it is what it is, Knockout. You know what it is, man. You know how we get down. Man, shout out to my brother Alonzo. I always mess your name up, brother. I apologize. Alon, so amazing. That's how I gotta say. Alon, so amazing. Shout out to that brother, man. Much love to you, brother. Much love, man. Y'all, hey, keep cooking, Piro.
And the scholar, in all seriousness, I think you hit the nail on the head. It's his pop. I think that like kind of like is like off-putting, and I actually never thought of it that way. That he like plays the villain so his son doesn't have to. That's actually really smart.
Yeah,
Nah,
you know what's an interesting point, man.
Mm.
They'll say stuff like Dev don't have pop. Now I ain't gonna act like Dev is no fucking devastating puncher, bro. I'm not crazy. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I don't care about names that much. I use my eyes. I use the eye test, right? But when I look at Cambosis, I say, okay, well, Cambosis fought Tio, and I remember Tio was stopping shit at that weight. Tio had fucking pop, and
Mhm.
Tio knocked him down, and he got back up. Like Deb was closer to finishing Cambosis than Tio was.
Nah, nah, come on.
Okay. All
No,
right.
I'm just
I
saying.
mean, I'm just
No,
telling
no.
you
I
what I
mean,
saw.
like we're grabbing at straws, scholar. To be honest, in that one, me personally, I thought, what's his name? Cambozo was really hurt. You know, like I actually thought he was gonna stop him, but like that's what kind of impressed me from Cambosos, that like literally he was able to get up. You know, for whatever reason, Tio couldn't finish the job. He was tired, whatever. But what really impressed me about Cambosos is that, to me, it was about dead even when the 11th and the 12th was about to happen, and like literally Cambosos needed those fucking championship rounds. You know, and never being in that situation, he pulled and he was able to, to secure the victory. You know, that impressed me from Cambosis. Like, he'll always have that,
but
from coming from me, and that's why I gave him like that's why, like, I didn't know who to pick, like, originally in Devin versus Cambozo, because like literally, like, I didn't know if it was a fluke, the first heel fight, or what, but I just felt like, Devin Haney, like, boxing wise, just was more skilled. And obviously, it showed in the first fight. He couldn't even fucking, take away his jab, like literally beat him with the jab. But I mean, you get what I'm saying? Like, that's all I'm saying is, I just thought he was hurt, but I do agree with you. I actually thought, Devin was going to knock him out. It just didn't never came.
So I like, part of being a good part of being a good finisher is getting the guy hurt and then getting him the fuck out of there. Like a lot of
Facts.
times that Wilder would already have a motherfucker drunk, so that windmill punching, the punches wouldn't even land. They would be out from the right hand. They still be drunk with birds flying around their head. But I feel like Tio is a harder puncher than Dev. I'm not saying that he's he punches harder than Tio. What I'm saying is he's a better finisher than Tio, because Tio knocked him down and then was knocked down himself. And like Piero said, if you know what you're looking at, if you've been watching the sport for a certain amount of years and your IQ's at a certain level, Dev almost stopped Cambosis.
Yeah, I thought he was on the verge. I thought he was on the verge, like, but like I said, man, credit to Cambosis, bro. Like even though, he lost the fight, he lost the titles, whatever, man, like, he didn't want to go out that like that. Sometimes, I think he willed himself, from not being able to drop there and eventually stop or whatever.
hey, man,
But
real
yeah,
quick,
I give
man.
him credit for that. I give him credit for that.
I gotta say, man. Shout out to my brother Knockout. Hey, man, Knockout. Ask your questions, man. I think my brother, the scholar, he'll answer. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna answer Pira. Whatever questions you got, brother, ask the questions, and we'll respond to them accordingly. But y'all keep cooking, man. Y'all keep cooking. I did want to say this though. I did want to say this. The way that Devin beat Cambosis versus what happened with Tio and Cambosis, right? I mean, that alone in itself, it proves, it shows that there's a different level to the skill set that these fighters have. And so, although people want to shit on Cambosis as far as being, what I'm saying, a unified champion, they want to shit on him. But then for an individual to go over there and beat his ass in his hometown, when we all watched that fight, the first fight, we seen 8-4 scorecards. You know what I'm saying? 8-4. And we know that Devin won 11 out of 12 rounds, if it wasn't 12 out of 12 rounds.
I was about to say 12 out of 12.
Exactly. And so we all saw that. And so it's just that, I mean, I understand what y'all saying, but man, you got to give credit to what credit is due, and Devin deserves all that credit. You feel me? He deserves all of that. And so at the end of the day, I understand when people want to, when they have whatever questions they want to have about Devin, but the brother he did what he was supposed to do to become undisputed, and it's not a lot of motherfuckers. It's not a lot of individuals, excuse my language. It ain't a lot of individuals doing what Devin's trying to do, or what, not even what he's trying to do, what he did. It's not a lot of people doing that. And so give credit where credit is due. Go ahead, Scholar. My apologies for being long-winded.
This be the problem that I be having, right? So this is why he's the most disrespected champion. The fact that you have to defend the position of a man who has the title of undisputed blows my motherfucking top. Undisputed. What does undisputed mean? What does it mean in the sport of boxing?
That you have all 4 titles.
All 4 titles at that weight class. It blows my mind that I even have to debate back and forth. I don't care who beat who. Tank does not have no belts.
He has one. Actually has one.
No, he doesn't have. It's not a real belt. It's not a real belt.
I know it's a regular belt, but it does have mandatories.
He got that Walmart belt that you could buy at the store, like them WWE belts. That's what Tank got. But as far Tank is Dev's the undisputed. He's the man at that division. At the division that.
Let me. I want to say this. I'm not crucifying Tank or nothing like that. I'm only.
You are. Lay off. I'm just playing.
I'll fuck with you, Piro. All I'm saying is this: at the end of the day, the brother Tank Davis himself. It was Tank who said that I want to go fight, or I'll fight Kambosos, but not for the belts. Tank said that. I didn't say it. And so knockout, Rick Timms, you know what I'm saying? I love both of y'all, but at the end of the day, I didn't say that. Tank said it. Tank said that, hey, I'll fight Kambosos, but not for the belts. That's what he said. It is what it is. So how am I capping? Or how am I talking bad about Tank? I ain't said nothing negative about Tank. I ain't said nothing negative about him. And
at the end of the day, these fighters say a lot of things, Dub Right Side. I do remember once upon a time Devin Haney was having an argument with Teofimo Lopez, and Teofimo was like, I got the belts. And then Devin Haney's like, well, I got more followers. And that was pretty funny to me. But at the end of the day, they say a lot of shit. That's my point.
So we shouldn't hold them accountable for what they said?
Sure, if you want, bro. I mean, I make fun of them and I move on, unless like there's like real fanboys on the panel. Then I'm an asshole, so I kind of like.
I'm not even trying to hold Tank accountable for now. I'm just saying this is what the brother said. He said this. I'm not trying to hold him accountable for nothing. I'm just saying he said this is what he said, and so at the end of the day, I'm just speaking on what he said. I'm not trying to hold him accountable for nothing because he ain't fought nobody I give him credit. I give him credit for his last fight. You know what I'm saying? If the Ryan fight happened, and shout out to Tank for putting the contract on the table, supposedly, from what we've heard. You know what I'm saying? He trying to call Ryan bluff. Or I don't even think he called him Ryan bluff. I think he called it Oscar bluff. But he trying to do that. So shout out to Tank for doing that, man, because I want to see Tank fight Ryan. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Go ahead, brother.
No, I want to watch it too. My 2 favorite fighters, bro. Oh, yeah, man. I want to watch that fight. I also want to watch Devin and Loma, bro, so I can take your money, bro.
Bro, hey, you're definitely losing the money on that.
Hey, bro, time will tell, bro. Time will tell.
You're definitely.
And if I lose, bro, fuck it, man. It ain't the first, ain't the last.
Hey, just send the money back double time. You know what it is, man.
Bro, like literally, as soon as the whatever happens and Devin's a winner, bro, it's right back in your cash app.
Shout out to my brother, man. Kazi in the
Piro must be rich, man. Piro trying to make a $500 bet with me, bro. That Piro must got money, man. Piro, what you do, real estate?
Like, you're glad be glad you didn't make it, Scholar, because like you would have been pissed.
Hey, we still got time.
That fight's not happening, and fucking Wilder's gonna retire, bro. It's like I'm actually kind of pissed.
What happened?
Well, like if it's true, like he's had a few interviews and I heard some documents, and this is not like YouTubers saying this is like coming out of Wilder's mouth. Like they offered Francis Ngannou like a 2-fight deal, like one in the UFC, one in the octagon and one in the ring. I'm like, bro, what are we doing here? Like okay, so like and they shit on the Andy fight. Cool, all right, you don't want to fight Andy, whatever. I don't care. But like Francis Ngannou, I mean, aren't you the #1 contender for the WBC? I'm like, what's he doing? Is he just talking shit? I don't know, bro. But I mean, if all that's true, I mean, like, bruh, come on.
He's trying to make money. It's
No,
like
no,
Floyd
no,
fighting
and I get that.
Conor.
I don't like literally like if but that's the thing though. Like literally, like what is he trying to do? That's what I want to know.
I think he's just trying to make money or maybe make history. I mean, Francis ain't no pushover. Like, I mean, of course he's not a boxer, but
Mhm.
you can still sell the fact that he got power. You know, bro, you know how they gonna do it. The same
Yeah.
way that people they did with Conor. They made people believe Conor has a puncher's chance against
Mhm.
Floyd Mayweather, who don't get hit by
Mhm.
experienced boxers. Like that's how silly the fight fans are, that you could just market and sell their asses anything. But this is
Mhm.
why I want to address this. I'm hot right back to this topic, but I
Yes,
just
sir.
wanted to address this. He said that Cambosis went 24 rounds with Dev, and Cambosis is garbage. So Cambosis is garbage. So what does that make Tio? Because he beat Tio. And don't act like Rick. Don't act like you knew that was gonna happen, because nobody did. That's why it was such an upset. Nobody knew Cambosis was gonna go in there and beat Tio. That's why that fight was so big. Like it's such a big upset. So and the fact that he went 24 rounds and he got like 90% of the rounds is impressive, bro. Like, do you watch the sport or you just watch highlights?
Nah, my nigga Rick, man, that's my dog, man. Rick, he be in there, he be tapped in. He got a
Man, he
look. He
tapped
got
out
a.
right now.
Hey Rick, come defend yourself respectfully, defend yourself. But hey, I can't. I'm with you, bro. Because what are we talk? We got to talk about what Tio got going on, especially now. We heard what Tio Senior said as far as Regis Prograis goes, and it seemed like they're not gonna make that fight happen. Seemed like they chasing after Josh Taylor now, although Josh Taylor need to be fighting Jack Catterall, in my opinion, because I thought he lost the fight to Jack Catterall. So, man, what do y'all make of what's going on at the 40-pound division right now when we talk about Regis and Catterall and T.O.? The other thing we got to talk about it as well is it seemed like Albert Puello. I thought he was going to be fighting Gary Antoine Russell. From what I've heard, Gary Antoine, his team didn't want that fight for him right now, and so some type of way, after getting knocked out by Tank Davis, Rolly Romero has been elevated to he's been elevated into a championship fight with. And I'm sorry, I ain't trying to laugh, but damn, this is comical. How the hell has Rolly been elevated to a championship fight with Albert Puello after getting knocked out by Tank Davis, when somebody like Gary Antoine Russell was supposed to be the individual taking that fight? Man, yeah, make it make sense. Do y'all have any opinions on the 40-pound division? Piero, we coming to you, then we come to you, Scott, afterward.
They're called greenbacks. Some people call them greenbacks. They say Federal Reserve note on them, bro. You know, we all know this.
The money is the goods, huh? The money will make it happen. What you telling me?
Sir, yes, sir.
Amazing. Go
I
ahead,
feel like
Scholar.
I feel like at this point, man, I mean, whether people want to believe it or not, I'm a huge fan of Tio. I like Tio. I think he's a good fighter, and I think he has a ton of potential. He just has to get a more experienced corner, a more experienced trainer, and I think that'll set everything. Because trainers ain't just trainers; they psychologists. They, whatever the fighter needs him to be, that's what they're gonna be at the moment. And I think that's what he needs. But I don't know what the fuck. I feel like Tio at this point is just a racehorse that wants, you know what I mean? Is got something mentally going on, and they still trying to put his ass back in the race. Like, I feel like Tio was at the zoo and was in the cage with the wild cheetahs, and he got out and escaped and was like, "Oh, thank God, I made it." And now he's in a tank full of sharks. Like 140 is fucking, there's killers there. Like, he jumped out of the fucking stove into the frying pan, man. Like, 140 is killers, and he does not look impressive at that weight. The power ain't carried to that weight. I'm like, I feel bad for Tio. And then they're trying to go to the top dogs to entertain those fights for Tio, and it's just like, he's not ready. Like, what the fuck are y'all doing?
No, exactly. He not ready for it, and in my opinion, And it's interesting when from what I saw when he was in the ring. Okay, I understand. Ocampo, understand that fight, but then what I seen from goddamn Martin, Sandor Martin, bro, like this nigga was clipping. I thought Sandor Martin had a good chance to win that fight. I wasn't mad that Tio won the fight. I wasn't mad that he got the decision. But at the same time, like that fight was way too close for you to be saying, for you really to be the goods at 140. If you run up against these niggas up there at 40 right now, bro, like I don't know who he beats as far as the top tier goes at 140. Man, Piero, who does, in your opinion, bro, who does T.O. beat at 140 top tier wise?
I mean, if there's any truth or validity to the reports about Josh Taylor, I think he could beat him. Does he? I don't know, because Josh Taylor, like, what makes him extremely difficult to beat him is that he's like he uses all the old school tricks. He's real dirty in there. And that could be, and especially him never being in that type of fight, like Tio, like literally, like I would still favor Josh, and probably by maybe like 70-30, just because of Tio doesn't have that experience. I mean, Sandor Martin like kind of showed, like Tio has never been in with nobody like Sandor, and very few people have, but do you get what I'm saying? Like it, but I mean, I like Tio. Like I think he's got a lot of skill. He's very capable. But yeah, I mean, I think he can beat any of these top echelon dudes. It's just like, I think he's capable to beat them all, bro. Will he?
I'm gonna tell you, Piero. When those fights start to come up, I will be sending. You know how I do it. I'll send you the money. If we gonna bet on it, I'll send you the money. You know what it is with us. And so, hey, I will
might spell cash app right side now.
I will be sending multiple.
For Tio, don't do it. Don't do it.
No. I would have bet that fight. I would have bet that fight.
Okay, that's good. Save your money. Save your money.
No, I know how to gamble. Trust me. I lose very little money, contrary to popular belief.
Scholar, listen to this now. Listen to the nigga. He and shout out to my brother, Piero, my brother. I fought with him. He bet me on the goddamn. He bet me that Loma gonna beat Devin, but he won't bet on Tio. How you gonna bet on Lomachenko, but you won't bet on Tio, bro?
Shit, Loma's more proven, bro. Like Loma's a better fighter than Tio. Like yeah. I would look if you put chips on a fighter who in the ring got caught on a hot mic saying, "Do I still have it, guys?" Man, you the biggest fool in boxing.
That shit look bad. Go ahead,
I mean, let's put it into context, though, fellas. Like literally, you have every you have all the eyes of the fans, the haters, and the people that love you. I mean, trust me, don't get me wrong. Like it's obviously it's disheartening because he's questioning himself. But damn, it ain't like it used to be, bro. Like social media didn't exist in the days of, say, in back in the day, yeah, you heard like you probably pick up the paper and you see somebody like a hater wrote an article about you get pissed off. But imagine if that was like fucking 50,000 articles, bro, like constantly coming in day out, bro. I mean, I think these fighters got a little bit different than it was before. But that being said, like, yeah, it is disheartening that he's questioning himself, But that's the good thing about boxing, bro. Like, we don't know like what's gonna become of him until we keep seeing him box,
We gotta see.
Man, I know what's gonna become of him. I think that if what you say is true, what you said was true, we live in a different climate. Social media didn't exist. They had high mics back then. They've always had mics, but yeah, I get what you're saying. The social media, the pressure is different because you literally are interacting with everybody. Everybody's connected in the world at once. Like shit, yeah. We all in different states right now talking. Like if we would have said that shit in the 90s, we would have got stoned. Like that's some witchcraft shit. But yeah, so I get that aspect of it. But I'm saying, like, me being logical, right? Fighters have so much to deal with on fight night other than their opponent trying to take their fucking head off. And if that fighter's mental capacity is at like 70% and the other's at 12, it don't matter if you're the best fighter. It don't matter if you got Mike Tyson power. The other fighter still has the advantage because a lot of this game is mental. And if you go in there and with the holes that Tio has, because I don't know if y'all noticed, Tio cannot fight coming forward, man. Every time he get clipped, it's always coming forward. He cannot fight coming forward. But if you get in there and you're less than yourself before the first bell, and then you start taking punishment to your body, you're gonna question if you question it, do I still have it? You're gonna question what the fuck am I doing in here? And that's the wrong place to question what the fuck am I doing in here. You're supposed to do that before the fight. If you do it during the fight, you're fucking food. And I feel like at 140, Tio don't got the power that he had at 135, and I feel like Tio is just a sitting duck. I think he needs to take a break from the sport. He's young enough to do it.
And I hear where you're coming from, Scholar. But the thing is like, Tio's not the first person to like literally not go into certain fights, 100% mentally there. I mean, like, there's been plenty of cases that we know for whatever the reason is. Like, yeah, like the fighters is his head ain't in the game, but they still win. Because at the end of the day, like when you're in the fight and you know that you're 100% mentally not there, you tell yourself, you make a decision. Okay, yeah, I'm fucked up, man. Like shit, whatever, baby mama drama, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, I think the difference is the fighter is like, fuck it, man. If I lose, whatever. But then there's another type of fighter that'd be like, everybody gets depressed. Fuck that. I'm not gonna feel sorry for myself. I'm gonna beat this motherfucker's ass. And there you go.
No, I think Tio was able to get bailed out for the same reason Deontay Wilder would get bailed out, because of the power. But I don't think he has that type of power at 140. I think at 135 he was a devastating puncher. He was really fast, accurate. But I think at 140 his power hasn't shown to be that. And I think that he don't have that eraser at 140 to bail him out. Like shit, Wilder was coming off of retirement. I don't know if y'all remember that. He was drinking the tea that had the shit in it and all this.
Yeah,
y'all remember that?
That was the mental tea, the shit that sent you into that frog tea or whatever it was. I remember that shit, bro.
And everybody was debating like, should he come back? Should he come back? And I remember always saying, of course, he still got the right hand. Yes, he could be bailed out. Wilder could get in there. And y'all pay Undisputed or Fight Night, and his health bar be at shit, let's say 30% because of mental. And if he lands that bomb, it's good night, Irene. So yeah, he can still knock people out. It's like when Tyson was no longer the same Mike Tyson we knew of the 90s, he was still starching motherfuckers because he had that greater race. Power means a lot in the sport of boxing, which makes me transition to my other point. Like I said, right side. See, you different than me. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck what nobody got to say about my opinion. My opinion is mine, shit. And that's all you got in this life is your opinion. Everybody die with their opinions. So I ain't changing my opinion for nobody. But it may come across like I'm hating on Tank. All I'm saying is this. At Tank's weight class, if you look at the last fighters that he's fought, he hasn't really accomplished a lot. He has a ton of talent, but his accomplishments don't stack up to Dev's for him to even be mentioned in the same breath. That's a fact. That's not my opinion.
Man, real quick, man. Shout out to my brother Rick Timms the third in the building, man. Shout and like the OG would say, Lil Rick in the building, man. Hey, what's up, man? Talk to me, Rick Timms. And real quick before I agree with you, Scholar. I will say, Tank his accomplishments at this current moment in time. Hell no. They don't stack up to Dev. Dev is. Once again, people forget that Dev is the youngest undisputed champion in the history of boxing, bro. Oh, no, not the history of boxing. Mike Tyson, shout out to Mike Tyson, because he's the youngest undisputed champion in the four-belt era. And I got to say that because me and Mike Tyson, we got the same birthday. And so y'all know I got a lot of love for Mike. And I got a lot of love real quick for my brother Champion Hart. We had a great interview on this past Friday, man. Shout out to my brother, man. If y'all don't know about Cooking with the Champ, go check him out. Man, Rick, man, talk to me, man. What you got tonight, man? What you got on what we talking about, bro? Talk to
me. Hey, all right. First, can y'all hear me clearly?
Oh, you crispy, bro. You crispy.
All right, good deal. What's up, Knockout panel, chat? Yeah, hey man, I was chilling, man, but I heard Buddy come in on my 24 rounds come in, so I came on up.
Talk about it.
So
Talk about it.
so yeah,
And real quick, shout out to my brother Mike Biggs boxing in the building, man. If y'all not sub to Mike Biggs, man, go make sure y'all sub to Mike Biggs. Shout out to him. And make sure y'all sub to Champion Heart as well, man. Much love to him. Go ahead, Rick.
yeah, he questioned my knowledge on boxing. Do I watch boxing or just watch highlights? Hey, yeah, man, I watch boxing quite a bit. And my comment as far as the 24 rounds, Dev going 24 rounds with Cambo, to me, that's not impressive because I do feel Tank would not have to put up with 24 rounds of that dude. Tank would stop him within 24 rounds. And then Buddy kind of strengthened my argument when he said we didn't expect Cambo to beat T.O., and I agree. But all Cambo did was expose was apparently something is going on with T.O. T.O. ain't who we think T.O. is, apparently. Especially since he done went up to 140. I mean, that struggle, split decision win he just got over Sandor Martin was a gift. So beating a T.O. ain't all impressive itself right now either. So Tank, true enough, his resume isn't A1. You know, it leaves more desired. But his last bout against Hector Garcia is a good start. So my question to the scholar dude is, you mentioned how Bill stayed capping, Bill playing the villain, and I agree with that as well. So my question is, what's your opinion on T.O.'s daddy? Is he a villain? Well, I mean, what's your angle on him? Because he ain't doing T.O. much favors himself.
I agree. I think T.O.'s dad might be worse because Bill Haney is more knowledgeable about the sport of boxing. Like whenever T.O. got dropped, he was trying to convince T.O. he didn't get dropped in the corner. I've never seen an experienced trainer do that shit before. They normally tell you what shot you got caught with and what to do to not get caught with that shot. He trying to convince his son he didn't get hit with the shot. That was stupid on his behalf. But yeah, it's the same. It's the same. That was just the topic of conversation, so that's why I brought that up. But to compare Tank to Haney is an unfair comparison because they have different styles. Tank is a knockout artist. We know what he do. Ain't no secret. Tank ain't going there and look pretty and finesse you and out slick you and do all this stuff. He gonna go in there to knock you out. That's what Tank does. So to say that he wouldn't go 24 rounds with Tank, he's not supposed to. He's coming in there to knock him out. But I think it's more impressive to go 24 rounds with a guy because in the sport of boxing, when you're at the elite level, you're gonna get hit. Floyd Mayweather has got tagged. James Toney has got tagged. Ali has got tagged. You're gonna get hit. The fact that he went 24 rounds with that guy and was not clipped, hurt, or anything, that's impressive to me. He put on a boxing clinic and he won 90% of the rounds in 24 rounds. So that's impressive to me. And as far as the Sandor Martin comment, Sandor Martin was at a higher weight for T.O. And we can't forget that Sandor Martin retired Mikey Garcia. Retired him. Mikey Garcia, I see something in Errol Spence. You know what he saw? He saw his fucking retirement because the next fight, his ass was getting retired by Sandor Martin. So I don't think Sandor Martin's no pushover. You know, to say like, you know, he's not a slouch. You know what I mean? I thought T.O. would win the fight, but I didn't expect the fight to go the way it did go. So I'll give you that point. But he's not at 140, he's not no slouch, and T.O. was moving up. So I don't really hold that against T.O. that much.
Who whooped Mikey Garcia worse, Earl or Sandor Martin?
Earl, he's a bigger guy.
So, yeah, Earl easily.
Yeah, well, shit. Well, Earl retired Mikey, if that's the case.
Nah, man.
Mikey go either way.
Earl was so much bigger than him. Earl was so much bigger than Mikey. Mikey was closer to Sandor Martin's weight, and Sandor Martin. Those two fights, Sandor Martin went in as the underdog, and he overperformed than what people would expect him to perform. That's what I'm saying. He's a better fighter than what people give him credit for. Like even now, you said we're gonna give Earl the credit for retiring Mikey. Like, nah, let's give Sandor Martin his flowers, man. He's a pretty good fighter.
I think he's a horrible fighter, to be honest, Sandor Martin. But he in his style, he knows how to pull out these wins.
Wait a minute now. We can't say that Sandor Martin is a horrible fighter because
I didn't say he was a horrible boxer. I said he was a horrible fighter.
All right, you got it on that. Okay, fighter box. Okay, if we gonna pull strings like that, I ain't mad at you, Piro. All I'm saying is
it's not pulling strings, Dub. It's like literally, yeah. I mean, like, is he a fucking? Does Kenny box very, very well? Does he have excellent foot movement? Of course,
So let me ask this.
I wouldn't want him next to me in a fight. I'll tell you what.
So is Tio? Is he a good boxer or a good fighter?
I would say both.
How is he both?
You can be both. I mean, in my opinion, what y'all think?
He's a better boxer than me.
He's not a good fighter, but like, okay, all right.
Is Tank both?
I think Tank is both more than somebody like Tio is.
Hell nah.
I could agree with you on that, Dub. To be honest,
no, I disagree.
Hold on, so Scholar, you don't think that Tank is a better fighter boxer? I mean,
no.
He can box and he can fight.
I think Tank is a good counterpuncher. He's a counterpuncher that can knock you out. Like, the difference between him and Floyd is a counterpuncher that's going to just out-slick you for the whole night. Tank is going to get you to make a mistake, and he's going to make you pay, and he's going to knock you out. I don't think he's a great. I feel like Tio can do it on the front end and the back end, but he was more so effective at 135 because he had pop, and they were scared of his pop, so they would be backing up. At 140, they come to Tio, and they take advantage. They counter off of his jab, so he gets exposed, coming forward more at 140 than he would at 135. But I agree with Piro. He can do it on both sides. He's more of a balanced fighter than Tank. I think Tank is just a good hard counter puncher, in my opinion.
Tank had to finish off Pitbull with one arm. Tank didn't show any boxing skills to you against Pitbull.
No, in that fight, I thought Tank looked horrible.
So did I, and Tank's my favorite fighter.
With one arm, I mean, shit.
No, yeah,
he managed.
I give him the arm.
Yeah, he managed.
I mean, that's what he told us he had. I mean, I take that shit with a grain of salt.
I was at that fight live. I was pissed.
Like Bernard Hopkins said, he got an excuse for every single one of his bad performances and losses. He said, "Shit, it's fighting. We don't ever go in 100%."
That being said, I knew who Pitbull was when nobody did. I knew that fight was gonna be tough for Tank.
Shit, I done won money on Pitbull, man. I remember when Pitbull was coming to the ring in his little Speedy Gonzalez, looking just like Speedy Gonzalez. And I remember, like, I had bet on him to knock out Gamboa early. I knew he was gonna get Gamboa early. And I remember my wife was like, "Why is he smiling so much?" I'm like, "Shit, I don't know." I told her I think it's just the nerves, you know what I mean? And he got in the ring, tore his ass up, man. Like, he could punch, but I mean, I don't know. The jury's still out on Pitbull. I feel like Pitbull is another one that got famous off a loss. Like, I need to see more out of Pitbull. I don't like the fact that he ducked Shakur. That was not impressive to me. Like, that stains him, in my personal opinion.
Ain't nobody ducked nobody, bro.
What? Wait a minute. He did duck Shakur. He did duck Shakur.
I just don't believe in ducks. That's just me. I don't believe in ducks.
He ain't accept the fight. That's ducking.
Hey, all I'm saying is Shakur came out and said, "Damn it, I want to fight you," and he was like, "Nah, I don't want to fight you. I'm gonna fight somebody else." So I mean, how if we're not gonna call it a duck, Piro, what we gonna call it?
Okay, I'll give you this situation. I saw Shakur on a live saying everybody's ducking him. Like, nobody wants to fight him. He can't find a fight. There is a fighter by the name of De Los Santos that jumped on his live and said, I will fight you. I will fight you, Shakur. Let's get it done. I'll send you the contract. He's like, And then he like for whatever reason he's like, nah, you don't want to fight me. You're lying. So you got a guy that like literally comes on your live that you're saying everybody's ducking you and says let's get it on. And he just beat Ryo, by the way, And then you're saying, oh no, you're lying, like blah blah. I mean, like, you get what I'm saying? I could call that a duck, but at the end of the day, I don't believe in ducks. I don't, like, for whatever reason, like he said what he said, I don't. It's promotion to me at the end of the day.
Now, Piero, there's such thing as ducks. Now, I will say that. I say a majority of the time it just be bad business. It's not a duck. But there are fighters who are intentionally duck fighters. Like that. I mean, let's keep it all the way real about it. We human beings, man. Like it's not natural for us to go to danger, especially when somebody in threatening of knocking you out. You know what I mean? Embarrassing you publicly in front of your family in that moment, living forever. So that is a real, that's a real risk. So, but I do think that. His team, Cruz's team, looked at Shakur and said, this style with Shakur is a bad matchup for us because we like to stay low and, fight on the inside. And I think Shakur and he's a southpaw, he would just control the range, keep him on the outside. And I think that he'll pop shot him. And I think that they didn't want that fight. I think stylistically, they looked at it and said, this fight doesn't make any sense. We have more to lose than we have to gain. So let's not take this fight.
And that could be very well so, a scholar, but the thing is that like the way I'm saying that the ducks don't exist is like, okay, I see where like, yeah, this fight is just for whatever reason for the on the business end, but the thing is the fans, when they think about ducks, is like how you said it first, like they're scared to fight this dude to lose, like they're scared to lose. Like I've never believed in that. Like these guys aren't scared. Why would they fight? Like literally, like I don't believe also that I do believe that we naturally like go away from the danger. This is the one sport where that's the opposite. Like literally, like a real fighter like goes towards it, doesn't run away from it.
Well, Canelo been running.
Hey, real quick, man. Before we get, we need to talk about Canelo. We got to talk about him as well.
Yeah.
Shout out to my brother Major Key, man. Major Key, man, jump on, bro, if you want to. But we're gonna have Major Key on. He'll be on Tuesday. Definitely got an interview going with him. And man, Scholar, I gotta catch you as far as the interview goes. Piero, you know what it is. You owe me an interview, respectfully.
I do. Anytime, Dub, just hit me up, man. I got you.
I need your information, man. I don't know what the fuck happened, bro.
I'll put it in the private chat. Don't trip.
Put it in the private chat, man. I lost all my contacts, and I don't know, on my phone reset and did some dumb shit. Like I don't know what the fuck happened, but. Definitely got to get you on again, Piero, man. But on Tuesday, we will have my brother Major Key on. Shout out to my brother Major Key, man. And Scholar, we got to have you on, Rick Timms. I got to have you on as well, brother. Much love. And definitely, if y'all know anything about rocking with Right Side, man, I don't care, respectfully to everybody, I don't care what you got going on. Want to hear your story. If I'm in the chat with you and you kicking it with me, I want to hear your story, bro. You feel me? So it is what it is. Go ahead, Rick, man. Cook on it, man. And after we move forward, after this point, I gotta ask y'all about Canelo. Canelo is my next subject that I want to get on tonight.
Good. Well, this my angle on Canelo. Man, it's 2023. We is what, February. It's almost 10 years since the last time he been in the ring with an undefeated black fighter. Yeah, with a major threat of a black fighter. Danny Jacobs, the closest he done been since Floyd in 2013. And yeah, David Benavidez snorted powder. Yeah, he lost the title on the scale, but damn it, he didn't fought his way back. I mean, he never lost in the ring, and Canelo strategically didn't fight for that WBC 168-pound title until he was stripped. And I don't care what you say, Scholar. Announcing I'm not fighting Mexicans anymore. That's saying I don't want David Benavidez. What's your take?
So this is how I look at that, man. You say fighters duck, and I don't agree. I mean, I don't disagree with that. That fighters do duck. I made that very clear, right? If they fought tomorrow, who would be the favorite to win, Canelo or Benavidez?
Canelo.
So why would he duck somebody who he's a favorite against? People are actually giving Caleb Plant, who Canelo knocked out, a chance against Benavidez, but y'all claim that Canelo's ducking him. The math ain't mathing, bro.
Well, his energy is saying otherwise. I mean, the same way he avoided Andre and Jamal at 154 and 160, he's showing the same energy now with Benavidez. I mean, he's been on this European white boy tour. It is 7 white boys in a row he didn't face. I mean,
so let me ask this. Because I understand and I agree with you, Rick. I agree. But I want to let's put it this way right here. So what we hearing right now is Canelo's next fight is gonna be John Ryder. John Ryder, right? Does anybody on the panel right now who do y'all respect a John Ryder fight from Canelo?
Yes.
Yes.
Mandatory, right?
My God. John Ryder?
Right side. He coming off of surgery, bro.
I just watched John Ryder, even though he got the win against what's the brother name, man? God damn, I can't call his name right now. I thought he lost that fight. Man, what's the brother name? Y'all know who I'm talking about. God damn,
Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs.
I thought he lost the fight against Danny Jacobs. He also even if we want to say he didn't, you know what I'm saying? If you want to tell me he didn't lose that fight, you go look at his resume. The nigga done lost against he done lost against 2 dudes that Canelo already beat the shit out of. How the fuck is John Ryder how is he the mandatory and getting the fight against somebody that, and I think, you know, they're going to tell me that Canelo is the face of boxing, and I got crucified. I got crucified on the panel the other night. Hold on, real quick. I got crucified about this. I got crucified for saying what I'm about to say. And shout out to my brother BNB, man. Black and Brown, that's my brother. I love him. And so, but he crucified me when I said, I was like, bro, the nigga John Ryder, he done lost to 2 niggas. He lost to, I believe it was Fielding, and it was either Fielding or Yildirim. I think it was Fielding. And he lost to Saunders. Saunders, you know what I'm saying? Not to mention the other fights that he done lost already, right? How the hell is this dude qualified to be, and when we're talking about the pound for pound, #1 fighter, the face of boxing, how is he qualified to be in the ring with Canelo, bro? He's not qualified.
Because he's another European white boy. That's why. I mean, it fit the script. Hey man, I don't want Beaver. Let me go and get this surgery.
I mean, European white boys are pretty tough, to be honest.
Bivol is European.
Not compared to elite black and Mexican fighters. No, they are not.
Yeah, they are.
Not even close.
Tyson Fury is pretty badass.
Yeah. You get exceptions to the rule. I give you Tyson Fury, but on a grand scale, elite black and Latino fighters rule boxing. Ask Canelo. That's why he facing these white boys, 7 of them in a row.
To be fair, at 168, they're traditionally ruled by European white boys. So I mean, that it kind of is par for the course.
Well, yeah. He showed it didn't want none of them when that Mexican had the belt. Soon as Benavidez lost the belt, he left 160 and ran to 168 because why? Because there was some black men left at 160. He could have went undisputed at 160. Why he ain't go undisputed at 160? He had 3 of the belts. Because he had Andre left.
See, I guess skills don't pay the bills anymore. Then shit.
This be my problem. This be my problem, Rick. Why you say why he don't go undisputed at the weight that you want him to go undisputed? Does Tank even have 1 belt right now? And he fighting
No,
Ryan
they
Garcia for
already
no
made it
belt.
clear. Hey, Tank got to pick it up. But my point is, Mr. Face of Boxing, Mr. Chasing Greatness, you had one bet left at 160. Why you ain't go get that one?
See, I feel like Canelo's gonna be one of those fighters, man, that people ain't gonna appreciate him until he retires. Like Canelo's coming off of hand surgery. Did y'all forget that, man? This man is finna go in there like off of surgery and fight this guy. Like, is he not entitled to tune-up? I guess is the question that I'm asking. Or does he have to fight all top people?
Yeah, let him have a rider. I agree. Let him have that rider. But after rider, it's nothing but smoke waiting on Canelo.
His back is a bit strained too, Scholar.
No, he needs back surgery too.
No. I don't think he needs surgery. He's just a little sore from carrying the sport for like the last 7, 8, 9 years.
No, he's been carrying a European tour.
Yeah,
Piro,
man.
Hey, make sure you got my message, bro. Let me know if you got my message, Piro.
Y'all gonna
shit, my bad. I'll check right now.
Y'all gonna appreciate Canelo, man, when he gone, man. Canelo's he's highly skilled, bro, and he's a throwback fighter. Like at the point where you become the face of boxing, normally those people fight maybe once or twice a year, bro. Like he fought 6 times in 1 year, bro. And just because he didn't fight the fighter that people wanted him to fight, they criticize him. But that's not how the sport of boxing works. I can remember being a huge Mayweather fan, and it was some picks that Mayweather picked, and I was like, what the fuck? I remember Mayweather's last fight, we thought he was trolling us when he said he was going to fight Kareem Mayfield or Andre Berto. I can remember being like, man, he lied like a mother. No, he was dead serious. But like, that's how the sport of boxing works. Floyd Mayweather knew once you become the face, you don't even really need titles. People going to come to watch you. Look at Tank and Ryan. That's not for a belt. People are going to come to watch you anyway because you've become bigger than the actual sport of boxing, and people are going to watch you and cheer for you, or the opposite. They're going to show up to see you lose no matter what. And that's what the position Canelo's in. He don't need no belts. Canelo could vacate every belt right now and still sell out in his fights. So the fact that he got undisputed.
Is that a good thing? Is that good? That ain't good for the sport.
The fact that but you didn't let me finish. The fact that he doesn't do that, and he has the capability to do that, and he still got undisputed is impressive in my eyes. The fact that he fought 6 times in 1 year, and he didn't have to do that. Canelo could have fought two fighters on the equivalent of Rick in 1 year, sold out and retired shit with 1 loss to Mayweather and walked into the sunset. But he's not doing that. So you got to put some respect on Canelo's name. The only man to fight Triple G 3 times. Nobody's ever even gave Triple G a grudge match. He's the only man to fight him 3 times.
This is the problem. Real quick. This is the problem with what you're saying, Scholar. This is the problem. Nobody didn't want to see that 3rd Triple G fight. Nobody didn't want to see that. The same way I'm gonna sit here on this panel tonight, and I don't want to see EJ, and I know people go crucify me for it. I don't want to see EJ versus Thurman at 54, bro. I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see it because I want to see EJ fight goddamn Bud at 47. Defend your belts at the division that you at. I got to keep the same energy for Canelo. I didn't want to see Canelo that 3rd time against Triple G. That nigga,
but you hear what you said, right side?
Hold on,
you said, I want it.
Go ahead, Scholar.
You hear what you said? You said, I want it. Unfortunately, the way the market is ran, the free market, it ain't just one person. Like, if every fight fan got the fights that they wanted, I mean, goddamn, like, the sport would be looking completely different. We would have got fucking Riddick Bowe versus Lennox Lewis in their primes. Like, that just, unfortunately, that's not how the sport of boxing works, right?
But we can't. Even though we know the sport don't work that way, and I'm one of the individuals who know that. I know the sport don't work that way. But at the same time, I got smoke for niggas who not. If you're not fighting the competition and the top level guys, if you're not fighting the best, I got smoke for you. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of who you are. It don't matter.
Especially if you claim to be the face of boxing. I mean,
you don't claim that. That's what he was anointed.
Boxing, facing mediocre competition 7 times in a row. I mean, eventually you got
undefeated champions. It's a stretch to call them mediocre.
Right side. How many times did Jake LaMotta fight Sugar Ray Robinson?
Hold on, real quick. Shout out to my brother Piro. I love the picture you got up there, Piro, because you got Devin up there with Canelo and Alicia. I'm in love with Alicia, respectfully, of course, respectfully.
I know you would like it, Dub.
I know. Hey, shout out to my brother Piro. Go ahead, ask the question again, Scholar. My apologies.
How many times did Ray Robinson fight LaMotta?
Hey, you more of a scholar than I am, and a historian more than me. So I'll let you preach on that one versus me.
What'd you say, Rick?
I say about 4 or 5.
Yeah. And nobody was calling. The fight fans were like, man, nobody wants to see that fight. Nobody wanted to see Dev go whoop Cambosa's ass a second time, but he had to go do it based off the contract.
I wanted to see that. I wanted to see that.
Yeah, I'm actually with Dub. I wanted to see it as well.
I definitely didn't want to see that fight, but like I said, the sport of boxing ain't just solely me, and I understand that. I'm aware of that. Like I said, I was a huge Mayweather fan. There was some fights he fought. I'm like, I remember one Mayweather to whoop Paul Williams' ass to shut everybody up because everybody was saying Paul Williams would beat Mayweather. I can remember that, but he never fought him for whatever reason. Like it's prize fighting. There's business involved. A lot of fights won't happen, but the fights that do get made, you know what I mean? Like I said, the man fought 6 times in 1 year, and he has undisputed next to his name in a 4-belt era. That is impressive.
Yeah, that's impressive. But what's more impressive? Canelo facing Earl at 164 and Benavidez, or Canelo facing Triple G and Bivol? What's
Triple G and
more
Bivol?
enticing?
Jesus, they want to kill Earl. Fuck.
Yeah, he would beat the shit out of Earl. Like, I don't even know. I can't even believe that's a real question. If Canelo moved down to fight Earl, everybody would say he was cherry picking. He's the favorite. He's gonna beat the shit out of Earl.
First of all, Earl got to move up. Earl got to move up. Earl got to move up.
So if he moves up, it's gonna be the opposite. When we give you the headline, they're gonna say he's a weight bully. He know Errol can't make that weight. Why is he making Errol come to his weight where he's more comfortable? Bro, they're going to make an excuse no matter what because they don't like Canelo for whatever reason. Like I said, it don't matter. It don't matter the opinion.
And they're going to call him a scumbag when they arrest him for murder, bro. Come on.
No. Man, y'all, man.
It's going to be a train versus a pillow, man.
Hey,
so what we saying right now is that
what I'm saying right side. If Bud, Earl, both Charlos, Andre, David Morrell, all of them beat Canelo.
Damn.
Cut it out.
If you truly believe that, y'all need to press these dudes to call them out, bro. Like tell them fuck your mother, dude. Like the worst until Canelo like okay, all right, y'all want it, y'all gonna get.
That didn't work.
I understand why Canelo.
They got him called a horrible fighter.
Andre was dropped in his last fight, bro. So this is the argument I be having with people who was a boo-boo believers. The man's name is Boo-Boo. First off, he letting you know he trash. the fact that people actually think Canelo is ducking him is really wild.
Hey, why he avoiding him since 154 and bro,
160?
He's not avoiding them, man. Like if Canelo fought Boo Boo stylistically, like I said, who do you think who's the favorite in that fight if he fought Boo Boo?
Hey,
to me, I got Andre. I got Andre.
Not to you. If Vegas, Vegas.
Wait, real quick. Shout out to my brother King Cooper Rakesh in the building, man. Much love to you for coming through, brother. Y'all keep cooking, man. Y'all keep cooking. My apologies.
If they fought, not to you, if Vegas, Vegas, the house don't like to lose money. Who's gonna be the heavy favorite going into that fight?
Canelo.
You know why?
Right.
Because Canelo is way more skilled than Boo Boo.
Well, why Canelo avoiding him? Apparently, Vegas is more confident than Canelo.
But that's what I'm trying to tell you, Rick. What looks like avoidance to you is not avoidance at all. Canelo would kill. Why would you be scared of somebody you could beat? The fight with Boo Boo doesn't make any money sense. It doesn't.
It would have made undisputed sense.
I gotta cut both of y'all. I gotta cut everybody off, man. Shout out to the queen in the building, man. Lisa Bell in the building. and I got so much love for Lisa. I gotta stop all of y'all from saying any motherfucking thing. If you
No,
say
let them
something,
keep cooking. Yeah, thanks.
no.
Alert the
Yeah.
newspapers.
Gotta
The
get you
rights
on,
that
Queen.
cut us off.
Thank you for coming through, man. Thank you so much,
Oh
Queen.
yeah. Yeah, I saw you was live and I said, let me kick it. Sometimes I be listening, but sometimes I can't. Come
Yes,
on,
ma'am. Hey, what you got on it? We'll let them keep cooking. Hey, what you got on the Queen?
I'm gonna have to more so agree with the boxing scholar, and the reason why, because it's about being fair. You got to boxing is about strategy,
Facts.
and you know, uh, you have to look at some of those guys. They haven't really gotten there and mixed it up. That's why I'm happy that Plant and Benavidez is fighting.
Now I
But
will say,
mhm.
go ahead.
Go
I was
ahead.
gonna say, I will say, I was on the panel the other night,
Mhm.
last night. Matter of fact, and my brother Black and Brad, they was cooking me. I was like, man, outside of Caleb Plant and Benavidez, right? Because they fighting each other, so I can't put them on Canelo. I can't put them on Canelo.
Right.
But I don't want to see the John Ryder fight, so I would rather see Morrell or Bivol fight Canelo versus Canelo fighting John Ryder. I don't want to see the John Ryder fight because he gonna beat the shit out of John. He gonna stop John Ryder in 6 rounds easily.
Well, I'm not. I mean, if he put himself in a position, who did he fight for the eliminator again?
He fought Zach Parker.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he put himself in line for that. So who am I to say? You know,
I
um,
understand.
right. I mean, yeah, it's not the fight that I would prefer to see, but at the same time, it's just a part of boxing.
Hey, real
I
quick.
mean,
Hey,
mhm.
Mex, I believe it's you, Mex. I believe it's you. Put your camera on for a quick second. Respectfully, how people. You good, Mex? Go ahead.
Lisa, I'm with you. I mean, I'm not too interested in the Ryder fight myself. I
Right.
actually, if it's, I mean, even I don't know how his hand is, but I'm assuming it's well enough to fight that he's taking it the Ryder in May. But for me, just for
Mhm.
me personally, I prefer Bivol. But for what
Yeah.
like I get it,
Now I don't prefer Bivol. I prefer to see Bivol go straight to undisputed.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
But we're not gonna get
Unless,
that fight. I don't think
huh?
we'll get that fight at all. I don't think we get that fight at all. Even though I agree, we need to see Bivol versus Beterbiev. I don't think we get that fight at all.
I think that Bob Arum said it can happen. At first he was against it, but now he's saying he would want it, but he's gonna have to go over there to Top Rank.
Yeah, and we got to see how that work out. He's been fighting over with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom, so we got to see it happen. And until I see it's hard for me to believe that happens. It's very hard for me to believe it happens that way.
Right.
Mex, man,
I think they both want it. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yo, what's good, right side?
Appreciate you coming through, bro. Much love to you. You know what it is.
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, I'm chilling like a villain, man. I'm just telling y'all, man, the real king of pay-per-view is coming up in 2 weeks, so tune in, man.
Who
Who?
Who is that?
The only guy can go on any pay-per-view platform and sell. Jake Paul.
Oh
I
yeah,
knew this shit
yeah.
was coming.
Hey, Jake Paul got what? I think Jake Paul got BT Sports, Fight, The Zone, and ESPN Plus carrying his next fight.
That's not a good thing, Max, right? That's not a good thing.
Why wouldn't it be?
Because literally like just the one example, Jermel Charlo for his undisputed fight, literally I was there live. The arena was half empty, bro. Just think about that.
Yeah, I think they're fighting in the Middle East, right? So I think he's good.
I'm just saying. I think boxing in this country is like the viewership for the casual. It's story lacking, and I think a lot of the casual is attracted to Jake Paul for whatever reason. So I'm just saying, and it's cool for him because he gets in the ring, so I respect him and all. But like at the end of the day, I mean, like it's I'm gonna let him do his thing, but I just think it hurts the viewership for some of these American boxers.
I disagree. I think Jake Paul is like our version of Butterbean, just more popular. He just has social media behind him. Butterbean was no real professional fighter. He was doing like exhibition type of shit. I think Jake Paul is good for the sport because he brings eyeballs that wouldn't normally be on the sport, and he has people talking about it that wouldn't normally be talking about it. And plus, to mention, he's talking about fighter unions. He got the women's day first $1 million payday when his fight didn't go through because of Hakeem Rockman fat ass couldn't make the weight. He gave everybody on the card money still, so they wasn't out of payday. He's good for the sport,
50%. Yep.
What did you say about $1 million paydays?
He got women's boxing their first $1 million payday.
No, Katie Taylor was making $1 million already.
I've never heard. I heard Jake Paul got them their first $1 million payday.
I'm telling you, Katie Taylor was the first one, I believe.
It was probably against Serrano, and that was the Jake Paul.
No, it was before Serrano. I'm almost positive.
Could somebody fact check that? Because I don't think that's right.
So, Scholar, when is it?
A bigger name before Serrano? I mean, who was a bigger fight for Taylor before Serrano?
She had been undisputed for a while.
Clarissa Shields is undisputed in different weight classes. She wasn't making no $1 million paydays.
No, but I keep trying to tell you, Katie Taylor was getting the bag.
Yeah, I'm not by a computer because somebody looked that up, man. Because I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it's not true.
I'm gonna check on it right now. Give me a second.
But yeah, I agree with Mex on this one, man. I think Jake Paul is good for the sport. I think we need. I mean, because boxing is in a different space than it was of yesteryear. Right. It has competition. MMA be putting some good fights together every now and then. You know what I mean? There's some times where it'll be a fight card. I won't even know MMA is fighting because I'm a boxing guy. But like people will tell me like, oh yeah, they had a good card tonight. So I mean, I feel like Jake Paul is good for the sport of boxing. He helps it on the grand scheme of things.
When is it going to translate to like numbers though, like for like a professional level?
He just needs to get fighters to come be on his promotion because it's obvious that he has good business standings with all platforms and all promoters so far. Seems like at least from his perspective. So if he can get a couple big name fighters on his shit, he should be able to get them good looks, and then whatever they choose to do with that is up to them.
So we're gonna have to wait for the boxers to decide to go to Jake Paul instead of like Top Rank and Match or whatever, any of the other promoters.
I thought he was leaving and going to PFL.
He did, but he still has his own promotional.
Yeah.
So is he a boxer? Is he a MMA guy? What does he do?
He does it all, baby. He's a fighter.
Wow. This is what I'll say to that, Puro. I don't know if we're ever going to actually see the translation over to the boxing numbers, but this is what I mean by he's good for the sport, right? I can remember from growing up in the 90s to now, I can remember it was a ton of boxing gyms in the 90s, the grassroots level, and they wasn't charging either. They wasn't charging you to sweat. Now, when I go by, I don't see a lot of boxing gyms. And if I do see them, they charging. They don't have a youth program. They're not good at the grassroots level. And I feel like Jake Paul will make young kids interested in boxing again. And so will games like Undisputed. People underestimate the value of video games. Fight Night brought a lot of fans to the sport of boxing. So like I feel like Jake Paul at the grassroots level will help grow the sport. I don't know if we'll ever see it at the cash register, but he'll do that.
And real quick, man, Lisa is right. Katie Taylor versus Natasha Jonas, you know what I'm saying? It was it was 1.75 million guarantee in that fight, you know what I'm saying, for Katie Taylor. So Lisa, she's right about what she's talking about.
Yeah, because this is what I was trying to say. Like somebody mentioned Clarissa Shields. Hey, I want Clarissa to get the money. But remember, Clarissa had to go to Sky Sports to get the money.
Wait, hold up, I missed that. You said what did she get paid?
So the overall, okay, let me make sure I say this correctly. The overall payday was 1.75 million, but Natasha Jonas only earned according to reports right here, only earned about 25,000 from the fight, whereas Katie Taylor she took the rest of the purse home.
Mm-hmm. And back then, Natasha wasn't as popular as now. That was a long time ago when they fought. I think they fought in amateurs too. Yeah, I want to say they did. Yeah.
And this is only the report. I mean, I just went and Googled it real quick, so this is only this is what's been put out there. So
Yeah, because I follow women's boxing because I already knew that. This is what I'm saying. Like you was mentioning, Clarissa. Clarissa was getting money, but it wasn't until she went over there to Sky until she really got the money. With this last fight, what's the girl's name again? Savannah Marshall.
Yeah, Savannah Marshall.
Yeah, remember Clarissa had been complaining for a long time about it. Now she's starting to get. Yeah, now she's starting to. But she had to leave the country to get paid. And it's unfortunate. Yeah.
And even when we talk about somebody like Alicia Baumgartner, I think this was her first $1 million payday, as far as the fight that she just had with oh man, I can't remember the girl's name right now.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Alicia is doing a lot of different things. She models. I see her in commercials. So
yeah,
she's
marketable. I think the misunderstanding was the Serrano Taylor fight was the first female fight where both fighters got $1 million.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
Good for them. Good for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Serrano deserves it. Yeah. Serrano, I saw on Twitter. She said that they put her up there. She's on the island right now in PR. And she was like, they put her up there with the greatest athletes in PR history, with Roberto Clemente. They got like a big picture. She was just so honored. She seemed very nice because she always, like, if you say something to her, she'll always give you a like back, you know. So that was cool to see that. Because I didn't know that she was the first boxer in history of Puerto Ricans to be undisputed, male or female.
And shout out to her because hey, she did her goddamn thing. I still think she beat Katie Taylor. That's just my opinion, but I'm a fan of Katie Taylor too, and I want to see that fight happen again over, you know what I'm saying, in Ireland. So it is what it is. But I want to ask Lisa, in your opinion, man, Canelo, the way he's moving right now, do you want to see him fight John Ryder, in your opinion?
Well, I had said earlier, it's not the fight that I would prefer to see. I really want to see the Benavidez fight, but at the same time, or even an Andrade, or, you know, but I know that it's a mandatory. So if it's a mandatory, you know what I mean? He's undisputed. He's gonna have to start defending those titles.
At 60, yeah, 60, yeah. 60,
and he may have to. And the WBA is consolidating them belts. He may have to fight. What's the young man's name? David Morrell at some point. Yeah,
that's the fight I want to see. I want to see him fight Morrell, respectfully.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. Max, man, let me ask you, Max. You think is Canelo ducking right now? Is he ducking fighting John Ryder, bro?
Man, you know Canelo's MO, bro.
Talk about it.
Oh, there you go. I don't think there's anybody alive that wants to see that fucking fight. Like, people will go see a Canelo fight no matter who he fights. Like, he could fight me tomorrow and probably still make a good money on it. You know what I'm saying? But like, no one wants to see that shit. Ain't nobody ever brought John Ryder up in no conversation to top nothing when we talk about anything. Now, at the same time, I guess, when you look at the landscape, there's not really a lot of people there for him to fight. But in the end, there kind of is, since he's like the cash cow boxing. He can fight anyone on any promotion with any, anything. So he can fight Bivol again. He could probably even go try to fight Beterbiev if he wanted to. He could fight Charlo if he wanted to. Beterbiev's plan's already locked in. I mean, I don't know. I think John Ryder's just weak ass competition. But at the end of the day, I mean,
Good, he cut off.
That was God. That was God right there.
whose name they
Don't do my brother Mace like that. Don't do my brother Mace.
Oh, no, I'm
you
gonna
notice
do
all the
Mace
people
like
he
that every
said-
single time.
Pierre, you notice all the people he said he wanted to fight was people that was bigger than him and monster. He wanted to fight Beterbiev, bro.
And they're not in
Hold
this
on,
weight
hold on,
division,
hold
bro.
on. Hey, here's the thing though. I'm not with the fucking putting a cape on for Canelo. He's already chosen to go up to that division 2 times to challenge for a belt. So that tells me that he's ready for whoever that division. He didn't go to get a light touch to see how he felt. He went for the belt 2 different times. So what's the difference of going for a belt the 3rd time? He's already done it twice.
He lost. He won one time and he lost.
He won one, okay. And when he won the first one, wasn't nobody saying all that shit. It was all, oh yeah, he beat someone twice. Just all that motherfucker, he's the best. Okay, cool. And then he lost. Oh, it's because he's bigger than him. It's because he's too small. Man, pick what you stay solid. Motherfucker wins. Oh, he beat a giant. He should never. But when he lose, oh, he's too small for that. Okay, so who's at 168? Who's at 160?
No,
Who's at
it's just
160?
like-
That kid. Man did 168.
It's like this, Pure. I'm up here. It's like this, Max. When Roy Jones went up and fought at heavyweight, nobody was calling for Roy Jones to stay at that weight or defend the titles at that weight. They knew it was a legacy fight, bro. It was to add to his repertoire, so we could always say, "Man, Roy Jones was a heavyweight champion of the world," and it'd be true.
But we also know
Like-
he cherry picked the weakest champion at the time.
Hey, for anybody, if I mute you, I'm only muting you because it's background noise. So unmute yourself when you're ready to speak. But if I mute you, just saying, you know what I'm saying? Keep cooking, bro. Keep cooking.
That might be true that John Ruiz was the weakest, but at the same time, it wasn't his weight class. So you still get full credit when you move up. Whether the guy's weak or not, you still get that. You still going to forever be remembered as a champion. And I feel like Canelo didn't choose no weak guy. When he went up and beat Kovalev was coming off that knockout against Yard. I mean, and Yard is not slouch, bro.
Hold on, that one. We all know that was not a true knockout. He jabbed him, and Yard was too tired to get back up. He would.
What do you mean by
he
true
literally?
knockout?
What I'm saying is Yard lost from exhaustion. He didn't lose from getting beat the fuck up. He almost knocked Colin out and threw his fucking arms out, which is on him. Still a fair win. But I'm not saying, let's not act like he just came through a destroyed Yard, because that's not what happened.
By that logic, we can say, well, Tyson didn't really get knocked out by Buster Douglas. He got knocked out because he was out of shape.
No. Tyson was wobbled. Tyson couldn't find himself. Yard just couldn't, had no energy
Yard was
left.
not. Have you seen that fight lately, Max? He knocked Yard out with a jab, bro. But it was hard. He was physically hurt by that jab. And everybody on this panel knows that the more fatigued you are, the easier you are to get knocked out. A prime example of what you're saying, George Foreman versus Muhammad Ali. George Foreman knocked him out. I mean, he knocked out George Foreman, excuse me. But George Foreman was fatigued. He was easier to knock out because he was tired. Your defense got holes in it. I mean, you quit. You can submit. You can mentally submit.
Look at all these examples you're giving, though. All these examples you're giving, these dudes got caught with pieces. Like Yard got caught with a straight jab, went down on his butt like an off balance thing. It wasn't like what I'm saying is, it wasn't like he rocked this shit. It was like a flash knockdown, off balance knockdown. Your feet in the wrong place. He just couldn't get up because he was exhausted. Like it was a stamina knockout, right?
That's
it
what
wasn't
a knockout is, Max.
No, it is.
Kovalev got one of the best jabs, though. He do have one of the better jabs.
There's a difference. There's a difference between tapping out because you're too tired to continue, and then you being concussed. Is what I'm saying. It wasn't.
So did Floyd knock out Conor? Did Floyd knock out Conor?
No. That was a TKO. Wasn't I would call it a knockout.
Why do they put KO in the TKO, Max?
Because it's a technical knockout, right? It's not
why
like
do they put the
remove
KO
from
in
your
there?
senses.
KOs, that shit still count as a knockout, man.
I'm not discrediting it. What I'm saying is there's different kinds of knockouts. I understand you want to say, well, it's called knockout. Yeah, if a motherfucker gets stopped because of a cut, KO decision, TKO decision, because gotta go scorecards, whatever. You know what I mean? There's different kinds. There's the kinds where it's a one hitter quitter and you're asleep. There's the kind where you beat on a motherfucker so much the ref got to step in. You know what I'm saying? There's kind from exhaustion. There's kind from injury. There's a lot of different kinds of knockouts. They're not all the same.
Yeah, I think everybody on the panel is agreeing with that. Not every knockout's the same.
Okay,
but
so what I'm saying is
still a knockout.
To act like Kovalev destroyed Yard, like
he did.
slept this shit.
He did. Have you watched the fight?
Yeah. I did. He didn't sleep him. What was Yard asleep?
So he has to be asleep to get destroyed.
No, I'm saying was he even wobbly by the time he actually had the energy to get up? He was walking straight. It's just he gassed himself out trying to finish him.
Was he aware of the rules before the fight, and did he beat the count?
Absolutely. I'm not making an excuse for Yard. I don't even like Yard. But what I'm saying is like the narratives that come with this, like, oh, this motherfucker knocked him the fuck out. No, he didn't. It wasn't a knocking the fuck out.
I wish you
like
could
the shit that Wilder did to Helenius is like knocking the fuck out. Like the shit Tyson, that's knocking the fuck. Foreman knocking the fuck out. These other things like TKOs, it was a knockout loss, but it wasn't like he came in and just crushed his shit.
When Ali knocked out Foreman, bro, Foreman was tired. Like the last punch, Ali didn't even throw it because Foreman was already falling to the ground. And then when he was on the ground, he looked up at Ali, bro. It's the same type of knockout that you talking about. But a knockout is still a knockout, bro. Like they both start the fight and the referee tells them the rules. I'm going to count to 10. They got to beat that count, bro. If you do not beat that count for whatever reason, it's a knockout, bro. Like I don't even know what we done went down a rabbit hole of different types of knockouts.
I'm not arguing it was a knockout. I'm not arguing it was a knockout. I'm arguing the narrative that Kovalev beat his ass. So like it wasn't that. Kovalev was getting his ass beat and Yard gassed out and Kovalev finished him. So like that fight didn't go like, oh, Kovalev just beat the shit out of him. He was some top contender. He looked so good. So that was prime Canelo against a prime opponent. No, Canelo saw easy pickings because Kovalev almost got his ass fucking whooped, and he's like, I can do better than Yard can. I'll knock this dude out. It was easy pickings.
Commended, don't you think?
What should be commended? Going up and weight? Yeah. Either way, going up and weight, getting a belt.
Commended by like literally almost getting knocked out, but coming back in the fight.
Yeah. That's the type of shit we like to see for sure.
But at the end of the day, once again, hold on real quick, man. Going back to the point of conversation here. John Ryder should not be fighting. Let me rephrase that. Canelo should not be fighting John Ryder, bro.
Right side.
Why not?
He's not worth a damn, coming bro. Off an injury, bro.
I understand.
Like I don't. What do y'all?
I understand that. I understand the injury. I got that, bro. I got it. I watched Earl Spence, goddamn, go through a car accident, and when he came back, who he fought?
Danny.
He fought top competition.
He fought Danny, and everybody was saying, "Why is he fighting Danny?"
What are we talking? So
what do this got to do with Spence? I'm lost. Go ahead, though.
Hold on. Danny wasn't top competition at that current moment.
No. Errol Spence in the wheelchair beats Danny Garcia.
Amazing. So Danny wasn't top competition.
There's no version of Danny. I'm gonna answer it again. There's no version of Danny that beats Errol Spence.
Once again, was he top competition? Yes or no?
I answered it not the way you want it, but there's no version of Danny.
But you didn't answer it because I asked a yes or no question. And I said, was he top competition? That's it.
He didn't have a belt.
So Danny wasn't top competition. Cool, I got you. Not mad at it.
I agree with Scholar though, because he'd already lost. I mean, it wasn't like the same Danny that we saw at 140. I actually, me personally, never rated Danny very high, but it was.
So now Danny was what it was.
I never rated him like that at 147. I felt he was better at 140.
Thank you, Lisa.
Yeah, but that's just me. I like Danny. I think Danny's a decent fighter, but he did win a belt at 147, but it's just like every time he.
Is Danny better than? Is Danny better than in y'all opinion? In y'all opinion, if we got to compare apples to apples, right? Is Danny better than John Ryder?
But that's not apples to apples. That's steak to apples.
Exactly. Danny is steak, and John Ryder is apples, nigga. Exactly. We agree.
No.
I'm trying to figure out what's the debate because it's a mandatory. Well, that should be non-debatable.
it shouldn't be the number one mandatory. It shouldn't be. There are other
Well, that's a
individuals
different conversation, right side? Like what shouldn't be and what is two different conversations. That's a
Agreed.
mandatory fight. You talking about a guy who came off a car crash. That's what you're comparing. He came off a car crash and fought a guy for nothing. It's two different situations, bro. That's why I don't like doing the comparisons situations like that. But if in all actuality, it's like Lisa said, it's a mandatory fight, whether you agree with it or not. He's coming off of an injury, and it's his first fight of the year, bro.
Wait a minute,
the conversation was the injury. The conversation was the injury. When you're saying that him coming off an injury fighting John Ryder, I'm saying that EJ coming off, all right, him coming off an injury fighting Ugas for a championship, a title, that's better competition. That's all I'm saying.
But I think they're the same type stuff. I mean, Ugas and Ryder had the same odds of winning against their. You get what I'm saying?
No, I don't.
To me, Ugas has the same chance that Ryder has of beating Canelo.
No. Ugas beat Manny Pacquiao. John Ryder lost.
Manny Pacquiao. I'm not talking about Manny Pacquiao.
John Ryder has lost to Saunders. He lost. I mean, just look at John Ryder's resume, bro. Okay, y'all got.
I'm not talking about Manny Pacquiao. I'm just talking about Ugas and Ryder.
Y'all got it on that one. I can't defend that. I can't.
But it's nothing that we can do. I mean, we can stress that it's not the fight that we would prefer to see, which we all pretty much have said that. But it's nothing that we could do. But basically, because pretty much his promoter already said he wanted to introduce him to the UK market. That's another thing also.
And I will say this isn't against anybody on the panel. I think, man, I was on a different panel the other night, and they was crucifying me for not or for not loving the John Ryder Canelo fight. And so I think this is more my energy for that panel versus you guys. Respect.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's more of that.
I mean, I don't take none of this stuff personally, because at the end of the day, I can't do nothing to change none of this.
Right, but okay.
Just don't support it.
Let me play.
Go ahead, Rick.
Yeah.
It's on my brother Rick. Then we're gonna come to Meg. We're going to you, Piro, after.
Let's play the devil advocate angle as far as Canelo is the face of boxing. He can do what he want to do. You know, he can be selective with his mandatories. Because hell, when Jamal Charlo was his mandatory for the WBC at 160, he didn't honor that. He dropped the belt when the shit hit the fan. So I mean, at the end of the day, the WBC, we know Suleiman is in Canelo's back pocket, and hey, Canelo can do what he want, right? So he don't have to honor the mandatory if he really don't want to. Correct? Somebody.
I don't know.
I mean, those are narratives. To be honest, those are narratives.
They could strip. They could possibly strip him though if he don't honor the mandatory.
They won't strip him as a franchise.
Stripped, bro. They ain't never stripped the man. Matter of fact, they
franchised
did
that
man.
right.
Yes, he's been stripped before.
He's been stripped.
Hold on, real quick. Real quick. I gotta do this. Hold on, no. I gotta do this, Piro. Respectfully.
Go ahead, Cap. Go ahead.
No. It ain't no cap. It ain't no cap. I got my brother in the building, man. Major Key Boxing is in the building. Major Key, he will be on with Rocking with Right Side. He will be on Tuesday. What up, Major, man? Talk to me, man. Go ahead.
What's up, Major?
For the people, man. Shout out to my brother, Major.
How you doing, sis? Everything good?
Chilling.
I'm glad you're feeling better. Thank you for the salute, Dub, and shout out to the panel. Now, I just wanted to jump on because the conversation that you're talking about, you had, the energy about, I was on that panel, and I kind of, want to just clarify that, for everybody. Like the thing was, so
John Ryder, regardless of whether we like the fact or not, he's a mandatory. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's one of those situations where he's taking a mandatory, like he's not taking a year off like somebody that you just try to compare him to. He's not taking a year off. He's coming back after a few months fighting a dude and probably going to fight, you know what I'm saying, somebody in September, which is what he likes to usually do, you know, unless, you know, the promotional parties can't make an agreement, which has only happened a few times. But besides that, he likes to fight in May. He likes to fight in September. So, so with that being said, I don't think it's a bad idea to just grab the bag, get this dude out of the way. That was a mandatory. You knock him off, and you know, either handle because he still has the rematch with Bivol. I prefer not to see that, right? But you know, that I don't know. I don't know what's on his mind. I would prefer him to actually stick to what Mauricio Suleiman agreed to at the WBC convention and fight the winner of Caleb Plant versus David Benavidez. And the reason why is because Caleb Plant did have an excellent outing until he started getting caught. See what I'm saying? So he was doing a good job, but you know his stamina let him down.
Now I gotta say this, and I'm not disagreeing with you. I gotta say this though. When we talk about somebody like John Ryder, when we talk about this individual, we're talking about an individual who lost to Billy Joe Saunders, right? The same dude that Canelo already beat his ass. We're talking about somebody who lost. Hold on, Major Keith. Let me.
All right, go ahead.
We're talking about somebody who lost to Nick Blackwell, got his ass whooped, TKO'd by Nick Blackwell. Goddamn, we're talking about somebody who lost to Jack. I don't even know this. Jack Amanfi. I don't even know this dude. I don't know this dude. Now, and then we're talking about Rocky Fielding as well. I know who Rocky Fielding is very well. All I'm saying is if we talk, and Callum Smith, when we're talking about him losing to these dudes, how does he do? I understand when we say, oh yeah, he's the mandatory, but at the same time, I can look at fighters and be objective about who they've lost to and say that, no, Canelo gonna beat the shit out of his ass. He gonna beat the shit out of John Ryder. So I don't want to see that fight, bro. I don't want to see that fight. I want to see Canelo challenge.
But if he's paying the sanction fees, he has to defend against the mandatory. Here's the thing: when you break it down, what we were countering you with the other day, if you don't remember, is the fact that look, if it's not John Ryder, then who else has put themselves in position? See what I'm saying? You got to think about that.
I answered that question.
Who?
Here we go once again, and I gave you two names specifically. I gave you
Remind me.
David Morrell. That was the first name. And
David Morrell.
And see, that's the problem. When I give you the name,
because his camp. Remember, we spoke about that. His camp said that he's not ready for that.
When I give you the names, when I give them, then all of a sudden, hey, okay, all right. If you don't want to take
his camp said that he's not ready. So you know what I mean? Like
his camp didn't say that. One individual, and which is Ronnie Shields. Shout out to Ronnie Shields. Shout out to him. Ronnie Shields said that. Although, even though Ronnie Shields said
that's his trainer, by the way.
We got to realize who his promoter is, right? His promoter is pushing for the fight. And so, although Ronnie Shields says that, and I'm not mad at you for saying his camp says that, all I'm saying is that if Ronnie Shields said that, Ronnie Shields says he's trying to stop multiple fights for his fighters, but at the end of the day, what it comes down to is as the trainer, you're the trainer, and then you have the promoters who are going to push for fights. And who is his promoter? His promoter, in as far as what's the great brother name, man? I can't call his name right now. Any other day I call him Samson. Samson is pushing for the fight for him. And so if Samson pushing for the fight as far as the promoter goes, Ronnie Shields can tell me right now that Kid Austin isn't ready for goddamn Keyshawn Davis. But if Kid Austin, his father, is pushing for that fight, hey, Ronnie Shields, you the trainer, train accordingly, and we'll make the fights that we want. That's all I'm saying. I'm not shitting on Ronnie Shields. I fuck with Ronnie Shields the long way. I like Ronnie Shields. I'm just saying that Ronnie Shields, he doesn't come to he's a trainer. He's not the individual in control of making fights. So if individuals are coming out, especially somebody,
but he's
like
the one observing the fighter, and he's the one in charge of knowing what his fighter's capabilities are.
But if the promoter is saying we're trying to make this fight, why?
Well, because the promoter's in the best interest of his you know what I'm saying, himself, his own well, he's not in the best interest of the fighter. You see what I'm saying? And so when you have the trainer and the manager, you know, thinking differently, it's because their best interest is the fighter. And if they don't think that Morrell is ready for it, or maybe he could tweak some things to make sure that he wins when he fights. Because don't get me wrong, Morrell checks off all the boxes. There's some things that I could see, you know, because remember he hasn't fought top elite fighters yet. You know what I mean? But he does check off the boxes from the eye test. I'll give you that. But you know, there's different levels to this shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Everybody looked good before they fought certain people.
Yo, I think the thing that muddies up this conversation is that Canelo keeps going on with this. I want legacy shit, and this is the type of shit he's giving us. This ain't legacy shit, right?
He's already given you
at
legacy.
168. He's undisputed at 168, so he can mandate a bitter V fight or a Bivol fight as the champion moving up. Also, I believe Golovkin, Charlo, and Janibek are the only champs at 160. They can move up and mandate a mandatory title shot too, if need be. Right, but when he only had one belt to go and needed to fight Boo Boo, he didn't fight him. He got the franchise for Jamal and didn't fight him. But he's quick to fight a John Ryder, quick to fight a Rocky Fielding, quick to fight you'll request to fight a Yildirim. You know what I mean? But then when there's other fights out there that might be challenges,
He didn't request to fight Yildirim, by the way.
No, he did request him.
No,
Suleiman said it himself.
No, he didn't. No. They threw the belt into. He was fighting Callum Smith, and they threw the WBC belt in there and told Adam Yildirim that they guaranteed him that he would fight the winner of that fight, which is why he squeezed it. He squeezed that fight into February, which is not a month that he normally fights in. So he fought in November and then fought in February. Then came back in his regular due diligence with Billy Joe Saunders in May, and then they couldn't make the deal in time with Caleb Plant, so he ended up fighting in November of that next year.
Cool. Hold on, Major Q. That's cool, but this is the problem. Hold on, real quick. The names that you just named, Callum Smith, Billy Joe Saunders, these are dudes who done whooped goddamn John Ryder ass, bro. They done beat his ass. So how all of a sudden is John Ryder the mandatory? How does he get moved to this position? You feel me? When there are other individuals who are much more talented, much more, or who have, or present much more problems. How has John Ryder been elevated when he done been whooped by the same names that you just named, bro?
He fought on a title eliminated. Depends on who was in that. What sanctioning body is that?
It was, I believe, it's the WBO. I believe.
You got to ask anybody, right, Lisa?
Okay.
Go ahead, Lisa.
I think it was. WBO.
I'm saying when he fought. See, what happened was when Andrade.
I'll double check that.
Didn't fight. Andrade didn't fight Zach Parker. Oh no, that's right, because Andrade had the 160 belt, and then he relinquished it. So that's how the other guy got the title, and then
and this is the other thing, real quick. I gotta say this, and I didn't even watch the respectfully. I didn't watch the Zach Parker John Ryder fight. I didn't watch it, but now I'm looking. Zach Parker pulled out the fight due to a broken hand. What are we talking about, bro? Like, what, man? How the fuck does all I'm saying is
that's why people was mad at Boo Boo because they felt he should have fought him.
Yeah,
exactly.
I thought he should have fought. I thought he should have. But all I'm saying is that when we look at somebody claiming Canelo Alvarez, Canelo is the big dog in the sport of boxing right now. When I'm looking at the big dog in the sport of boxing, I'm looking for you to fight big dogs. I'm not looking for you to sit here and fight individuals like John Ryder, bro. I'm not looking for that.
But they're not gonna fight. They're not gonna fight top dogs every time. They're not.
Not everyone can be Mayweather, dog.
I know
Mayweather didn't fight top dogs every time.
Mayweather never fight no John Riders.
Andre Berto. Andre Berto was the
yeah, but that was his last fight. That was his retirement fight. He earned that shit. That's what I'm saying. That's all you got. Okay, I'll give you that.
Look, I'm not gonna be tit for tat.
He got one.
Look, I'm not gonna be tit for tat about these people because I don't give. Because at the end of the day, none of them motherfuckers give me no money. Okay.
Mayweather's mentality behind
hold up. None of them motherfuckers give me no money. I'm just trying to be fair with it. None of them fighting killers back to back to back to back. Not back to back. You know, you ain't gonna see them. Them days is gone. Mayweather, just like all of them, they were strategic. That's the whole point. And when I first came on, I said boxing is about strategy.
Facts. Hey, Max, it's on you, bro. We going to make
but I'm saying
we coming all the way back around.
Part of Mayweather's strategy was to not have the belt, to not be forced into these bullshit mandatories, so that he can make pay-per-view after pay-per-view fights. So whether they were killers or not, I guess I goes with someone's fighting style, right? But he always fought like the next dude up. Like, yeah, that fucking Ortiz fight, we all didn't want to fight Ortiz, but that's because Ortiz beat Berto. Like, everyone thought it was going to be Berto next when Berto was on a streak. Ortiz knocked him out, so he had to fight Ortiz.
Why he never fought Keith Thurman? And he was mandatory.
That was at the end of his career, the Berto fight, when he took the Berto fight instead. When he's like almost 40.
He fought years after.
That's what I'm saying. That's how good he is. He's almost 40, and you're like, why is he not fighting this dude? His last fight of his fucking career. Like, yeah, he came back and fought McGregor. We all know that.
Nobody fought killers like Ali. Okay. Now that's a real bona fide killer's resume.
That's also heavyweight.
Mike Tyson fought killers now. Mike Tyson.
That's all. We're also talking about the heavyweight division. Most of those dudes
I
knock
didn't
people
say
out.
Mike Tyson didn't fight killers, but if you look at Ali's resume, you're gonna see nothing but killers.
Max, this is what I add to that, Max. No, I didn't even want to get. I kind of feel like you were baiting everybody into a Mayweather talk. I don't think nobody on this panel would say Mayweather sucks, bro. We all think Mayweather's a great fighter. Is he the greatest? Absolutely not. But back to the Canelo stuff, because I didn't even give my take on the Canelo stuff that I wanted to give. I felt like we at the second month in the year. This fight was announced, but I mean, they ain't got nothing booked. It ain't set in stone yet, so it still might possibly not happen. I feel like Canelo, Major Key made a good point. Canelo ain't sitting out a year. He's coming off the surgery just months after the surgery. Like which means he probably just now starting to get back seriously training. And it's crazy that y'all want to throw him in there with the better bees of the division. That shit is absurd to me. Like, I realize now that if somebody is partial to a fighter, he can fight whoever the fuck he want to fight. But if you don't like that fighter, he has to fight the people that you want him to fight when you want him to fight him, or you're gonna say he's ducking. That's what this whole conversation made me realize.
That ain't true though, because
but that's what I was saying. I was just trying to be fair, because a lot of them dudes, hey, listen, nothing for nothing, right? At 160, right? You had when Triple G had unified with Murata. That was the perfect time for Charlo and Boo Boo to get it on. That would only make sense. But they ain't doing their parts either.
Nah, you're right, Lisa.
We gonna pass it back around, man. Rick, man, what you got on it, man? Talk to me, Rick. Hey, unmute yourself. I muted you. Unmute yourself.
No, what I'm saying, hey, I'm simple and plain with it. Hey, Canelo, let him have Ryder. He coming out for surgery. Hey, it's a mandatory. No excuses. Hey, man, don't get Ryder out the way, because after Ryder, the Sharks are circling. What is he gonna do after Ryder? That's what I want to talk about. Because he ain't gonna be able to get away with continuously fighting subpar competition because hey, he the cash cow, but a lot of his support is waning. If you look in the comment sections in a lot of these blogs and podcasts and YouTubes, Facebook, Instagram, it's a lot of Canelo fans that say, hey man, I've been riding Canelo a long time, but hey man, he's really ducking Benavidez. Okay, this is bullshit. I want to see Canelo woo woo woo. So hey, he gonna have to shit or get off the pot eventually. And after Ryder is all I'm waiting to see who he gonna choose next.
I mean, unfortunately, I think there's nobody he could fight that's gonna please his detractors. I mean, he fights Benavidez, he beats him, he's stuck in Morel, or vice versa. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I think Canelo realizes that, and he's gonna
Piero, let me ask you
he's gonna keep moving like he's been moving,
Let me ask you a question, Piero.
Yes, sir.
Who do you want to see Canelo fight? Who do you want to see him fight?
Dimitri Bivol.
Okay, Bivol. I ain't mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
Because you want him to get his get back, yeah.
Oh, well, I wanted to get his attempt at his get back because
right,
and it ain't guaranteed he can win the rematch.
Right now, see, for me, I want Bivol to fight. I prefer Bivol fight Peterviev. See, everybody got different. Everybody got different opinions here.
I think, like I said,
once again, I think a lot of this is Canelo's fault because of the shit he says when he does his interviews and press conferences.
It's not
right. So what happened with the Boo Boo
What
shit?
does he say? What does he say?
He told Boo Boo he was a horrible fighter and he would never fight him. And he hasn't beat no one.
The same thing.
Hold on.
Who has John Ryder beat?
Hold on, Piero.
Now I'm more of a Boo Boo fan. I'm not like.
Here's another thing.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute.
Can we get into it? What?
Let Max finish. Piero, you respond. Lisa, you afterward.
Let's get. So what I'm saying is,
but it's all good. I don't mind moving the button down.
Go ahead, Max.
On one hand, it is who has he beat? He's beat no one, and neither has Ryder, right? Okay, but Ryder's mandatory. Okay, but he's clearly not fought people that have belts. So it's like you would think, okay, if you're someone that honors mandatories, why would you not fight other champions though? Like you ain't fight other champions that have belts or the last belt you needed, or also had an interim, also has something, and you said, "No, I'm not gonna fight that guy." But then you're like, "Oh, but I gotta fight this mandatory man. I'm sorry, my bad. I can't even fight you. Come on, bro. Like, which one is it? Why would you not fight the better competition? Like, it's cool to fight mandatories when the mandatories are lesser than. When the mandatories are on a hot streak, undefeated, maybe have an interim title or some shit, you don't want to fight them. And then when it's like, oh well, this dude over here, he needs to do this, he needs to do that. Benavidez ain't fought no one, and Boo Boo ain't fought no one, and all this, but then you're fighting a bunch of people that never fought no one either because they have belts or because they're mandatories. But when these dudes have belts, you didn't fight them.
Speak on the Piero.
Can I rebuttal? Yeah, I mean, like all that stuff that you said. Yeah, I mean, those are all Canelo narratives. But like he tried to make the Boo Boo fight. At the last minute because he wasn't negotiating with Boo Boo. He was negotiating with Vasil Devryanchenko. But at the last minute they couldn't make music with Devryanchenko. He tried at the last minute to make the fight with Boo Boo, but Daryl people said nah. The deadline has passed. They stripped him. He wanted to become undisputed. It didn't work out. He eventually went in another direction. I mean, like unfortunately these things happen, bro. But I mean, like literally, like he consistently, like literally after the second Triple G fight, he could have retired, Hall of Fame, cool, but he decided to keep on going. And he literally like became undisputed. Like everybody was like, "Oh, why don't you become undisputed?" Blah 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 blah. And then they were saying there is Billy Joe. Like literally, the narratives are endless with Canelo. And at the end of the day, for me personally, Canelo's not my favorite fighter. I do appreciate him because he literally does carry our sport. Because there's some of my fighters that I rock with Jamal, like hardcore. That's the fight I wanted to see initially was Jamal and Canelo. But like Jamal hasn't fought in 2 years. Like I heard he has baby mama issues, whatever. And I hope he works all that out. But then you got a Boo Boo Andre right on his heels that was like literally like almost like at the same amount of days of inactivity. So at the end of the day, I mean, like literally, this is the only guy that like fights in the sport sometimes, like on a consistent basis, and he's not fighting bums. He's literally fighting undefeated champion under undefeated champion after undefeated champion. But like people are gonna make him go through these hoops because they can. It is what it is.
Hey,
This
hey, real quick. I was gonna say, Scholar, man, go ahead, and then we want to go to Major Key. Come to Lisa, then we're going back to my brother Rick Timms. Go ahead, Major. I apologize, Scholar. Scholar, it's on you.
this is what I dislike, man, in the sport of boxing. I see this happen all too often, and I'm guilty of it sometimes too. Just because you don't know a fighter does not mean the fighter's not good. I mean, Americans are biased to the American market. I mean, it just is what it is. That's why every time I debate, or they ain't gonna say debate, every time I'm on a panel and I bring up a UK fighter, they lose their shit. Man, them UK bums, them UK people ain't got no shit. The American fighters go off. Who is he fighting? He's a bum. Just because you're not recognizable with the name does not mean the guy is a bad fighter. Because if you hit John Ryder's record, like he has knocked out undefeated guys. I mean, undefeated mean everything. Remember, people was calling Floyd the greatest for being undefeated. So I mean, it means everything in the sport of boxing, according to fans, until they don't want it to mean anything. I just feel like I said, it's too premature. Like, what if Canelo fights this guy and then goes and fights Arthur? Would y'all still say he was ducking? Because like I said, I feel like what Puro said. No matter what Canelo does, people are gonna criticize him because they don't like him anyway. It's nothing he could do outside of fighting Anthony Joshua. The only way he could get people's respect if he go up to heavyweight, knock out Anthony Joshua. And even then they might be like, he's not the same Joshua of yesteryear. You know, he was damaged goods when Canelo beat him. Like, there's nothing Canelo could do. All you could do, really, like Lisa said, you can't change nothing. Appreciate the guy for what he is. He's an undisputed champion. He does not have to give us no more than a fight a year or 2 fights a year like Mayweather used to do on Cinco de Mayo, and he'll sell out. But he gave us 6 fights in 1 year. And even besides, if we're not going to judge his critique his record, look at his skills in the ring. The man is a good fighter, bro. Like y'all watching the same fighter I'm watching?
I can't be mad at that. Major Key, man, talk about it, and then we come to Lisa.
I think he was on point with what he just said about, because I'm always constantly and Lisa knows this. Like, I always try to explain to people that there's a difference between domestic and global. You know what I'm saying? And then when they say, they don't understand why the sales are different and all of that. I don't like talking about money neither. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my like I hate talking this whole bag shit, because we're not in their fucking camp. We're not their lawyers. We're not managers. We're not negotiating for them. We don't really know what the contract looks like. You know what I mean? We just know what the fuck they want us to believe when they throw out a tweet. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, the dude does fight who he's supposed to fight. I mean, because we're still complaining about fucking Andre. How long ago is that, bro? This is 2023. This is 2023. He fought 4 times in a year, right? In 11 months to be precise. You know what I mean? To become undisputed. Okay, moved up and challenged himself, and for me, Bivol beats Beterbiev. You guys might disagree. I don't know. Maybe some of you agree, but to me, Bivol's the better fighter. So I feel like he went up there to challenge himself to see if he could beat the best fighter. Because if he didn't, would have probably want to go undisputed there. But he had a rough time, so he came back. He had a second fight in that clause with that agreement with the zone. So he went and made a Triple G fight, which Eddie Hearn was very stuck on. You know what I mean? So they made that fight. Boom, he got that. Hurt his hand. Took a couple months off. You know what I'm saying? Probably, warming up right now. Back into training. Back into the gym. Getting back into this thing. And now he's got a mandatory in the name of John Ryder. Like we said before, Zach Parker could have fought Andre if Andre would have taken the fight. Right? That fight fell apart 2 times. So why not fight the winner of that? You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, who else? We don't even know who won off of Plant and Smith yet. I'm sorry, so Plant and Smith, Plant and Benavidez, right? And so when they get a victor out of that, there's not going to be enough time for training for when Canelo wants to fight. He wants to fight in May. You know what I'm saying? So, I think that people just like the timelines are off. People not understanding. They think that this guy's like ducking it. He's never ducked no smoke. He fought Mayweather, the best of that fucking era. At 22 years old.
I'm gonna say I'm not, and we're going to the Queen Lisa. We're going to Rick, then we're going to Mex, and then back to Puro. all I'm saying is I don't think I'm saying he ducking, and I might be the conductor of the train. I'm not saying he ducking nobody. I'm not saying Canelo is ducking. I'm just saying he fighting fights that I don't want to see. That's all I'm saying. But Lisa, go ahead, cook on the queen. It's on you.
I was gonna say, when it came to like what Canelo did was strategic and it was a boss move. He basically said, "I want to be undisputed at 168," and he did it. He executed the plan, and did what he needed to do. The only time he had to leave the zone was when he went over to the PBC. He went over there and did what he had to do, and he came back, to the zone, and he became undisputed. Now that division has been there for years. There's never been an undisputed champion. So this is what I'm saying. Like that was a boss move, and as a cash cow, he put out there what he was going to do, and he did it. So, like, I'm no Canelo apologist or whatever. I'm more of a Boo Boo Andre fan, but I'm just trying to be fair.
You like
I'm
Boo-Boo?
looking at. Yeah, I'm a big Boo Boo fan. Yeah.
Oh Lord, respectfully.
I
can't stand Boo Boo. I can't stand him. Respectfully.
I mean, you can like who you want to like. It's like none of these fighters. At the end of the day, none of them put no money in my pocket.
Yeah, they ain't ironclad. They ain't ironclad.
Yeah, they ain't putting no money in my pocket. I like him. His awkwardness in the southpaw. But I see that Boo Boo is starting to slow down too. So at the same time, that's all I'm just saying. But I can't knock Canelo for what he's done, and whether the fight I really want to see him fight is those guys at 168. I would love to see him mix it up with the ones he haven't. But Eddie Hearn is trying to introduce him to the UK market, and he will do that with the John Ryder fight. And the DAZN has a global plan, so who knows? He may get to fight all over the world, different territories.
Mm-hmm. So the question is, then we're gonna go to my brother Rick, sending it back around like always, man. We're going to Rick next. Mm-hmm. Goddamn, Scholar. We're gonna send it all the way back around. But my question is, damn, is anybody excited for this fight? Are y'all excited to see Canelo and John Ryder? Is anybody excited for that fight? Is anybody looking forward to the fight? Am I the only individual who is saying that, hey, okay, it's happening, and I understand, like Lisa she broke the politics down. Major Key, he broke the politics down. I understand the politics of it, but at the same time, is anybody excited for that fight?
You keep revisiting this question. We already said how we felt.
Nobody.
I love you, fam. I love you, fam.
I know.
I did. I said this is not the fight that I prefer to see.
No.
I said I would.
Ain't nobody excited for the fight.
But it's just gotta. It's just gotta happen, I guess.
I was excited about having Yildirim, but it was his mandatory. At least he got out of the way in February, where he doesn't even normally fight. That's what I'm saying. Like, I know it's not at all at the top of my to-do list. To watch that shit. You know what I mean? But it is what it is.
Yeah.
Send it. Hey, we gonna
so fam, you happy about the Selecki fight?
Hell no.
Okay.
But this is the difference. This is my thing is when Charlo fought Sulecki, I was crucial of him for fighting Sulecki. I hated that fight. I was like, bro, why the fuck are you fighting Sulecki? These are the words coming out of my mouth. Why the fuck are you fighting Sulecki? I don't want to see you fight him.
You're missing her point, right, Size? She's saying you're not going to always get what you want in the sport of boxing.
No, I understand the point. All I'm saying, I definitely understand it. All I'm saying is if I'm not getting it, I'm critical of it. That's all I'm saying. So I understand not getting the fights that I want, but also if I'm not getting those fights, I'm gonna be critical. We're going to my brother Rick, then we going to Max, then we come to you, Scholar. Rick, go ahead, brother.
Hey, the definition of chasing greatness wouldn't going undisputed in 2 weight classes sound better than 1? See, I'm critical of Canelo. You know, he is a great fighter. You know, I like the dude outside the ring. I like his personality. You know, he seemed like a chill fella. It's just the strategic and the selective way he moves about. And, you know, missing undisputed at 160 is a don't look good to me. And simply this question I have for the panel: what is the motivation of declaring I'm not fighting Mexicans anymore?
Hey, we're going to you, Scholar. It's on you. What you got on that, Scholar? Then going to my brother Major Key, back to Lisa. He asked the question. Ask that question one more time, Rick.
From the general scope of it all, what is the motivation of Canelo announcing he's no longer fighting Mexicans?
It's on you, Scholar.
Well, I can't pretend to know what's in the mind of Canelo, but I do know this, right? If you take every fighter at face value, your head would explode, right? Like for instance, I remember being young, hearing Mayweather say he didn't want to fight Manny Pacquiao and insinuating that he was on steroids because he was walking through Cotto and he was walking through fighters that he shouldn't be walking through, but they eventually ended up fighting. So I mean, if the business of boxing over trumps everything, if they make the money right for Benavidez, because I'm assuming that's where you're going with this, Canelo would not only fight him, but he will beat the shit out of Benavidez.
I disagree.
I would actually agree with him, and let me say this too. Just to answer both of your questions, because the last one was what was the last point that you made that you asked me to answer? Because I was also remembering the other question, which was about the double undisputed. So what was the last point that you made?
Missing undisputed in 2 weight classes, but the last one was what is the motivation behind Canelo announcing he's no longer fighting Mexicans?
Yeah, you see, that part I would just want to answer directly. I have no fucking idea. I'm not Mexican. I'm not Canelo, so I would respond in that sense. I have no idea. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know, when it comes down, I don't know how their loyalty is. I don't know how their loyalty is.
We can speculate on everything else, right? Well,
I could speculate. Yeah, I could speculate. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, you know, he feels like I think he just doesn't want to destroy the little homie. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me. But and then because I think he would win too. You know. But anyway, but going to the double undisputed, he literally, I guarantee you, if he would have beat Bivol, he literally would have stood at that division and tried to capitalize it and become undisputed there as well. That was his move. He was going to try to do that. I guarantee you that. But Bivol, like I said, was the toughest in that weight division, and Bivol outskilled him. Bivol's nasty with it. Don't get it twisted. Bivol's nasty with it. He's not like your average, you know, European fighter, like what people say. Oh, your average European fighter, man. They got, you know. So a lot of these guys are Olympians, man, and they take us to deep waters. Whether it's Puerto Ricans, Americans, you know what I'm saying? Well, we you know, Puerto Ricans are pretty much just like indigenous Americans, but you know what I mean, on an island. But Americans, you know what I'm saying? Mexicans, whatever, like anybody on the Western Hemisphere, you Argentinians, yo. They give people brawls, you know what I'm saying? And those are good fights. You know, sometimes you get a European knocked out by an Argentinian dude or by a Mexican, you know what I'm saying? Or he get outboxed. He's like the top level dude over there in whatever country over there, and he gets outboxed by a black American from here in the United States. You know what I'm saying? But or somebody from the islands, a Cuban maybe. Nowadays Dominicans are looking good. So it's just boxing is global. So the fact of the matter is that we can't downplay people because they beat other guys with belts. That the guys with the if the guys with the belts, if you get mad at the fact that he beat somebody with that belt and they happen to be from Europe, then there should have been somebody else that you're rooting for that had that belt first, because then that's where they should have fought, right?
Hey man, I don't mean to cut y'all Major Key. I ain't gonna hold none of y'all, man, because I gotta take my black ass to sleep. My son, I gotta make sure I get him on the bus in the morning. So man, goddamn. Hey, first things first. I want to get all y'all last words. Man, first we gonna go to Boxing Scholar. Major Key, you gonna be last in this situation because if y'all don't know, Major Key, he gonna be rocking with Right Side on Tuesday. Definitely, man. I know it's gonna be a hell of a show. It's always a hell of a show, but I know my brother. He gonna bring some great knowledge. We going to and Scholar. Got to get you on, Lisa. Got to get you on too. I got to get you on, Queen. And Rick, man. I definitely got to get Rick on as well, man. I got so much love for all of y'all. Appreciate y'all jumping on tonight, man. Scholar, man, give your last words, and then we gonna push it around the panel.
My last words is the obvious is that Tank has power, right? And a lot of times it might seem like I'm hating on Tank, but I just feel like Tank gets more respect than Devin Haney without the belts. You know what I mean? I feel like even Shakur, who's new to the division, gets more respect than Haney, and he ain't did nothing in that division. Shakur ain't even get undisputed at 130, but that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother episode. But
we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that, Scholar.
People need to put more respect on Devin Haney's name. You know what I mean? And Tank needs to show me more for me to hold him in high regards. And as far as the Canelo stuff, man, we gotta appreciate what this man is doing while he's here. He might not give you all the fights you want. Put it like this: if Canelo fights 5 of these opponents this year, I'll criticize him. But it's just one, and it's only the second month of the year. Like, give him time, man. Like, we're not gonna be pleased with every single opponent that he picks and chooses, like Lisa said. But I mean, there's nothing we could do about it. We can either support or not, and that's the beautiful thing about the free market. But that's all I have to say, man. I'm out of here.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Hey, Scholar. Hey, once again, man. If you, I think I hit you up. I think I got your information. Hit you up, man. Hit me back, man. Lisa. Thank you so much for coming through tonight, Queen, man. Give your last words. And, man, I got so much. Got to get you on the show, man. We definitely want to have you on the show as well as.
Oh, most definitely.
Man. You know. What
I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this. Yeah. This has been a really good, live stream. I came in from the beginning. I enjoyed talking to you brothers. It's just, I'm just trying to be fair and just look at things, try to bring the facts and try to leave my feelings out of it for the most part. We all have fighters that we like and we want, to see, at the end of the day, we want to see the best fights. And,
facts.
So, whether I can't knock Canelo for what he's been doing, because he's been doing more than a lot of them, But I want to see those guys mix it up as well, And to be honest with you, the people at that division at 168, they really should take a look at themselves, because I was like, damn, they don't feel embarrassed how he just came in there and just became undisputed like that, and they was there all the time. So, but that's when you call he made a boss move. You could do that. He a boss. He could just move like that.
Hey man,
that's just how it is.
Before you leave, Lisa, man, I gotta say this. Thank you, because I know there are a lot of times I jump into different chats, and you when you see me in the chat, man, you just show me so much love. That I appreciate it and I love it, and gotta say thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna always show my brothers love, always. When I see y'all, I speak, You know, my mother always told me when you come in somebody's house, you speak.
Hey, you say what's up.
There's
Hey,
people that don't speak back, but I still speak.
Facts,
you know,
facts, man. And I appreciate it, man. Yeah,
it makes me feel good. It makes me feel good to be a greeter.
Hey,
I love doing that.
It makes me feel good to be greeted and to be able to greet you back, man. So much love to you.
Absolutely.
Much love.
Yeah.
To you.
Much
Man,
love back.
My brother Rick Tim's in the building, man. Rick, you know, hey, me and Rick, hey, same way me and Lisa be in chats together, man. Rick, you know what it is. Rick, man, talk to me, man. Give me your last words. Man, appreciate you jumping on tonight. And man, talk to me, bro.
Oh man, just in a nutshell, to wrap it up, man. Hey man, Canelo, Bud, Jamal, and maybe a few more, but them three right there, man. I just like to see them go do better, especially Jamal and Bud. I mean, Canelo has done a lot of great things. I mean, his accolades, his accomplishments, they can't be questioned, you know, on paper. You know, it still leaves some desire. So after Ryder, we'll see what he do. But you know, I can't take away from, you know, his talent, you know, over the years. I mean, hell, 60 fights. Hey man, the man been out there a long time. Anyway, hey man, I enjoyed the dialogue tonight, man. A lot of intelligent back and forth. You know, nobody got, you know, disrespectful. Hey man, everybody grown. Hey, I love your platform. Keep doing your thing, right side. Salute to everybody. Yeah, good night to Lisa too. She always speak. I always speak back. And hey man,
yes.
We just gonna keep riding this boxing until we see what we like.
Till the wheels fall off. Hell
till
yeah.
The wheels fall off this motherfucker, man.
Mm-hmm.
The wheels fall off. It's crazy because Lisa and Rick, man, I'm in the chat with Rick on a regular basis. You feel me? And man, it's funny being on the panel with y'all versus being in the chat. And y'all know what it is, man. Y'all know I talk all type of crazy shit in the chat, man. And then I get up here and talk the same crazy. I was gonna say
it's all good because it's all in the love. It's all in the name of boxing. It's all for the love of the sport of boxing.
Yeah,
you know,
it is.
We keep the flame. You know, we keep it going.
Thanks, man. I gotta go to my brother Major Key. I gotta.
All right, good night,
I gotta let y'all know. Hey,
right.
real quick, Rick, before you jump off. Remember, hey, I'm looking forward to having you on the. Damn, he jumped off. Never mind.
So guys, I see him always in Coach Malachi's channel anyway.
Yeah, he be over there with Coach. Yeah, he be over there with me and KQ as well. Man, me and Rick, we be in a lot of the same places. Shit, I be in a lot of the same places with y'all. Man, my brother Major Key in the building, man. For anybody who don't know, Major Key will be live on Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? 9:30
live and direct. Yes.
And we gonna put the pressure on his ass. We gonna put the pressure on him. You know what I'm saying? In a very
tell everybody to go subscribe to my channel and watch all the shit that I've done, and they're gonna know that I don't feel no damn pressure.
He barked back.
I was gonna ask this. I was gonna say, send me a link. Oh, I got your link for your channel, but send me a picture of you if you don't mind, so I have a good clear picture. You know what I'm saying, when we do the show and everything. But we'll definitely have your show or your live your channel. There we go. Your channel. It'll definitely be in the chat and all that kind of good shit. But man, Major Key, man, thank you so much for coming through, bro. I appreciate it. Talk to me, man. Give me your last word, bro.
Well, my last word, shout out to Lisa Bells, because she's also a day one, bro. I started over 2 years ago, and she was one of my first subs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I remember when you started. Yup.
Solid. Yep. All the way solid. She all the way
Major Key Boxing came in this community kicking in the door. I remember.
Right? You remember that shit? You know what I'm saying? So,
You came through this motherfucker like Biggie, that song. You kicked it going. Talking hella.
Oh, you was popping on, hit me no more.
I remember that night I first seen you. You was talking hell shit. You was drunk that night too?
No, maybe. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
When you was on Ring IQs, that was crazy that night.
Happens to the best of us, man. Happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
No.
I was like, I like him. I said, I like him. He talk shit, man. I like him.
Go ahead.
I was like, I like him. He talk hella shit.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Lisa. You know, I've always appreciated you. You know what I'm saying? That's why every time I see you, it's like, what up, sis? You know what I mean?
Yup.
My wife knows your name. You know what I'm saying? You know, she knows.
Yeah. Give wifey my love. Yeah.
That's what's up.
And then you went over to H's. Man, that whole night was crazy. That's like, man, I said, I hope he make a channel. I'm going to rock with him, yo.
That's what's up. But yeah, I mean, as far as last thoughts, to be completely honest with you, my man, I just hope that we get some clarity on what's going on with PBC, Showtime, and Paramount Plus, and all of that. I hope we get some clarity. You know what I'm saying? Whether they downsize or whatever, you know what I mean, or like get rid of certain fighters, whatever they need to do to see what happens, because not all of their fighters are on the shelf, but there's some fighters that are on the shelf that I would like to see fighting. You know what I mean? And so I would like to, if they can't keep them on the program because of whatever business reasons, I would like to see them on different promotional companies, especially if they can't afford to really rock their own promotions. So with that, I would hate to see them start from scratch when they already signed to a major promotional company, expected more, So with that being said, I mean, I'm just looking forward to what happens for the rest of the year. I'm willing to talk about whatever topic at whatever time. So you say you're gonna bring the smoke for me on Tuesday. I'll be here, bro. What time again?
Hey, I'm gonna hit you up. I'm gonna hit you up tomorrow. It'll be
the later the better for me. The later the better. By the way, the later the better.
And if you want to go even later than I got it 9:30 Eastern time. But if you want to go later than that, bro, I'm gonna hit you up. I'll hit you up tomorrow. We'll chop it up and we'll make sure we put something in stone. But man,
yeah, because there's a lot of the normal guys on all the way to like 10:30. So I mean, like around 10:30, if that's not bad, if you cool with that, I would 10:30, 11 is cool with me. Because trust me when I tell you, on the weekdays, people been having this shit set up for years, and they just like. They already they have certain people that just go watch this shit at a certain time. So I would want people to watch your channel, and I'll share it on my channel, and I have Troy Grizzy shared on his channel, and we could just get as many eyes as possible.
I'll definitely hit you tomorrow, and we'll chop it up. We'll definitely lock in the time. But man, right. I just thank both of y'all and everybody tonight, man. My brother. Rick Timms, everybody who jumped on the panel tonight, man. Much love.
Hell yeah, it was lit up in here.
Hey, y'all know. Look, I wasn't even planning to go live tonight, but I said, man, I just want to talk some boxing, and I appreciate y'all so much. So, hey, it is what it is. But man, thank y'all so much, and man, always know when you come over here, man, you rocking on the right side, and when I see y'all. I must show you love the same way y'all been showing me love. So
absolutely,
love, man. Much love.
Have a great night, man. I appreciate you having me up.
All right, peace. Have a blessed evening.
Peace.
Y'all take it easy, and
all right.
I always gotta end. I'm gonna end with this right here. Let me make sure I end the right way, because you can only end the right way when you right side. You can only end one way, right? It got to be the right way. And the way we gonna end it is, here we go right here.
You can't fight the power of Gervonta Tank Davis. What a scintillating display. Well, you question Deontay Wilder's power. The proof is in the banana pudding as he just turned the lights out.
Ladies and gentlemen, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, here is the skilled, the highly regarded Devin the Dream